Right. So I had been recommended the server a long time ago. Um, I think when I said I was going to do the Murakumo, somebody recommended using the server until I was actually able to get it. But obviously, you get the Murakumo in basically the same spot that you get the server. So I didn't think that made much sense, but I did want to do something with the server, but I didn't want to just do a normal playthrough because the server is just kind of bad. But you know. Alright. Hello, Fen, Hawkbird Tree, Maple Pancakes, and MMJ. Um, I mean, you're still welcome to do it. It's not like I'm the only person allowed to do this specific run now. I'd be interested in seeing other people do their version of this run, right? Um, that's one of my favorite things about this game. There are just like so many ways to go through it that any take on an individual like challenge run or playthrough will be like unique to each individual person. Um, so definitely feel free to do this. I would love to see it. Dark episode. Indeed. Oops. Oh god, I accidentally put my controller on my lap and almost got obliterated. Can't exactly parry the ball. Okay, so as the thumbnail implies, I won't be using Estes. Um, I, I'm kind of split on using healing miracles. I think I'm gonna use them at least until I get all the healing stuff that will actually let me heal without them. Um, but I don't know if I feel particularly bad about using them to heal like in the middle of levels because like obviously they're extremely use it. You can use a healing miracle during the Capra Demon boss fight, right? But it's gonna be difficult. Target the Jesus. There we go. Under the solar pellets license. I mean, I guess so. You have my blessing, I suppose. Oops. I don't expect this run to be anything special compared to my normal streams. Like, I'm gonna go out of my way to get Ring of the Evil Eye and stuff, which I never do, but otherwise, like, I don't know, just kind of playing through with a weapon. Look, Mom, the streamer with 8 viewers said my name. I think my peak concurrence ever is like 42 or something. The average peak concurrence is around 30, but average amount of viewers for a stream is like 20. I don't know if that counts as famous necessarily. Right, so actually, before anything else, I know we need 13 dexterity and 16 strength for 2 hands. Hello, Brenda, welcome to this stream. um, because we need so many stats, I am going to go ahead and grab the Morning Star and go fight the Stray Demon. I watch YouTube videos and see if I can beat the game faster than the Let's Player or whatever. Or at least I used to. I haven't done that in a while. I feel like beating the game faster than me, doing the same bosses that I usually do, might be a little bit more difficult than your average Let's Play because, you know, I play this game weekly, but... Welcome, Beetle. But that would be an interesting challenge. A game that you're good at, and a game that a streamer you're watching is good at, playing at the same time. That'd probably be a lot more interesting than just a normal Let's Play. I've never Jesus Christ. I swear I can talk. The server is weird because the icon makes it just look like a normal curved sword, and then when you pick it up, it doesn't look like the icon at all. So for the longest time, I actually had no idea what the server looked like. Oh no, so close. Damn it. If I hadn't landed, I think I would have been back up there. Unfortunate. Oh, that was weird. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with low numbers because it means more interaction with each individual, right? I wouldn't complain about having a bigger stream, but at the same time, it's nice to be able to talk to everyone. 5 hours on Soul Level 1? I should do a Soul Level 1 playthrough. I don't know if I'd do it as a stream or just like a video. But just like beating the game super easily on Soul Level 1 normally, I think would be a really fun thing to do. To show off how easy Soul Level 1 can be if you know the game as well as I do. It would help if I could actually make this jump. For a second try at Soul Level 1, that's pretty good actually. Hello, Deuterium. A bit late. I mean, what, 5 minutes? Not even. I don't usually start streaming until 3, so I wouldn't say you're late this time. I pressed the left button, I swear. This is not a hard trick to do. I should, however, be using this. I think the Canvas Talisman is like actually the best talisman we'll get until the Ivory Talisman. And the Ivory Talisman, oh, excuse me, isn't even that good until like 42 faith, I think. So I think I'm just going to end up using the Canvas Talisman for this whole playthrough. I do think I'm going to get Sunlight Blade just because I'm actually going to be using faith this playthrough just for the healing miracles, but I don't know. We'll see. Ooh, please. There we go. I'm also going to grab the... Please, come on. There we go. I'm going to grab the Rusted Iron Ring since the server is in the swamp. I feel like if there's ever a time to get it, now would be a great one. Alright. So far, so good. Relatively. By your second beer? I don't know if playing this game drunk is the best way to do it. Harder than Iron Golem Skip? I absolutely disagree. Iron Golem Skip is fine, perfect. Hello, Carl. Again, you can just ask me to call you by a different name, and I absolutely will. So you don't have to worry about it, but I do understand the not... Oh my god, that was unfortunate. I don't know, so level 1, it's a unique way of playing the game for sure, and it is absolutely harder than casually, but I wouldn't say it's hard. Of course, my perception of difficulty has been drastically altered because of the myriad of absurd ways I played this game. But like, in terms of challenge runs, Soul Level 1 isn't that difficult. Also, fighting this guy with Morningstar is vastly harder than Bandit's Knife, especially if you get obliterated by the hollows. Nope, that's unfortunate. Okay, we're fine. Everything's fine. Oh my god! That was scary. I'm actually going to use a healing miracle. I was very scared that I was going to get hit there. Okay, yeah, it's 3 hits for a bleed, just like the Bandit's Knife, but this thing is so much slower than the Bandit's Knife. So it just makes getting those bleeds significantly harder. Yeah, so level 1, just pouring all your souls into Pyromancy is nice. Because you don't have to worry about leveling things up. So you can get significantly higher damage than a casual run might at times, but at the same time, like if you're purely relying on Pyromancy, instead of also having like a reinforced club or something, yeah, I don't know. And it, plus with a boss like Neato, like, it's not always harder, but it is a good portion at the time, I guess. Bow only isn't even that hard too. That's a great point. I don't know. I feel like bow only is harder because you're going to be using RTSR for the vast majority of your damage. Like, well over half your damage is probably going to be coming from RTSR. So, I don't know. Doing bow only without hyper mode is definitely harder, but yeah, RTSR does break bows in a good way. And I think that's incredibly fun to exploit. Right. Don't get greedy. That's... No! Please! No! Okay. We didn't die. That's fine. Everything's okay. Don't get greedy. I said don't not get greedy immediately. Okay, one more. Define very glitchy. Like very glitchy as in send skip and depth skip kind of glitchy, or like... Define glitchy. I agree. Dark Souls 1 is like... I mean, it's my biggest special interest as an artistic person. So, Dark Souls 1 is definitely my cozy game. Would this do more damage than the mace on a... what am I looking for? Crit, right? Okay. I think mace would just be better for this. Bright red and called estrogen. Kiln, wrong warp. Well, I mean, oh my god. I didn't press the button. I feel like at that point, that's hardly a bow only playthrough. You're just skipping half the game. Not that that's not fun, though. Yeah, class is kind of messed up. Making you miss the solar pellet stream. Oops, that's not good. Everything's... Okay, I appear to have learned the trick to two-hand riposting. I don't remember who said to wait for the animation, the two-handing animation to finish, but whoever said that makes it so much easier. Well, I mean, I guess makes it work at all. I used to just kind of wait a second and hope that my timing was correct, but it does do more damage, yeah, slightly. Because the mace has, like, really good strength scaling. 93 as opposed to 63, yeah. Definitely more damage. Easy. Alright. This should hopefully get me to stats. I don't know if I want to get my strength up to... What is it, like 24 is the requirement? Or if I should just stick with the 16 for the two-hand, because I probably won't be not two-handing it very often. I don't know. We'll see. Parry the Souls Lord. Honestly. If the bosses and enemies and stuff could, like, parry, whole game would be completely different. It would just be lag stabbing. The whole lore would just be Gwyn lag stabbing the dragons. Okay, 13, 16. That's for the server. I guess that makes sense, right? Yeah. And then from here, I'll level up Faith or something. Would have done more damage with the star, you think? I don't think I would have procced bleeds at all, so I don't think... Are they even vulnerable to bleed? I'll see if I do more damage with the star. But I just kind of... I mean, I did level up my strength, so it's different. 123 as opposed to... Yeah, 167. The mace is slightly better. It would have been less drastic with the strength, but... I don't think I would be getting the bleed proc anyway, just because of how long the riposte takes. Getting parried by Ceaseless. He slams his arm down, you attack, and then you immediately just fall backward, Dark Souls 2 style. Black Knight Sword. That's unfortunate. Do I even... No, it's like 16 decks, huh? 18 decks. Darn, can't even use that on the way down to Blighttown where I won't be fighting anything. Yeah. Faith. Hey there, Luna. Glad you could make it to a stream. I hope you enjoy your time here. Don't eat your Dark Souls disc. That's bad for your teeth, from experience. Oh, pardon me. Able to parry Gwyn's elite guard. And also Gwyn is very funny. Oh, I didn't grab the ring. I gotta go back. It's not about if you would, it's about if you should. And the answer to that is a very definitive no. Oh my god, that's so unfortunate. Please don't hit me through walls. That's so mean. I forgot that I got the key to get the ring in the first place. It's 1 a.m. Well, I'm glad you can catch at least a little bit of this stream. Yeah, I also don't have a Dark Souls disc, but if I did, um, we're not going to talk about the reasoning behind me not having a disc. That's not important. It's the reason that I know it's bad. Imagine getting parried. Some cleric comes back to the asylum like way faster than they should and then just parry you 6 times. Oh my god, that was so much faster than I was expecting. Wow, Oscar does no damage. That's unfortunate for him. There we go. You should definitely eat dinner. I'm glad you're getting food. It's good for you. Eating the disc is the final boss. I don't know about that. Um, so do you eat the disc after you do a soul level 1 playthrough? Like, at what point can you say you have conquered the game enough to be able to face the final boss of eating the disc? Like, what's the sequence here? You know, you said enjoy your meal, and my brain was like, oh yeah, eating the disc. That's the meal that you're talking about, not the pizza that was mentioned a moment ago. You have bought the game 14 times. Actually, I think I've bought in the game. I think I've bought the game. Um, Stop it! Oh my god. Just quit. Cease. There we go. I have it on. I have remastered on Switch, PlayStation, and Steam. I have Prepare to Die on Steam. I think that's it. I think I bought the game 4 times. Um, I have it on a second Steam account as well, but before I realized I could just do family sharing, to not be banned, I believe. And I've also bought it for friends several times. Maybe not 14 exactly, but I bought this game several times. Yeah, Crush Shield is really good. I feel like Crush Shield is pretty underrated, all things considered, because like it's really, really good for like 4 kings, you know? Games for... That's awesome. I didn't even know you could do that. Oh my god, thank you so much. Thank you for the money. Yes. Trans rights indeed. Um, Hold on, I'm trying to find something quippy to say about supporting trans rights, but I'm bad at being funny. But yes, trans rights. I think that is the highest altitude that anybody has ever watched one of my streams from. Thank you. Thank you for being here, Pinky. Yeah, I know the 14 times was because of the bosses, but that's not... Look, the you have to be genuine, you know? Bought the past tense of bought, which is already the past tense of buy, which means Botten is the past tense of buy. Frankie currently watching a solar pellet stream while piloting a plane. A commercial airliner at that. I kind of want to take out Quelaag and Ceaseless immediately just for the souls, but also fighting Quelaag with a +0 doesn't sound fun. So I don't think I'm going to do that. As fun as that would be. The deepest depths of the ocean. Hanging out with Cthulhu, watching a solar pellet stream. You didn't get... Wait. You didn't get Dark Bead, despite beating Artorias. I mean, were you doing a Sorcerer build? Because unless you're doing a Sorcerer build, I feel like Dark Bead, like, isn't super useful. Because you'd have to get the intelligence requirement, and then it also scales with strength anyway. So you kind of have to build around anticipating getting Dark Bead, you know? The server, it's not... Okay, the thing is, it's not like a terrible weapon, but it's certainly not good. Like, I'd argue that the Butcher Knife is probably better, which you get in the same location. However, they both heal you, and the server does heal you a tiny bit more. I don't know, server is just like worse Murakumo combined with Butcher Knife with slightly more healing to potentially negate that being worse than thing. But like the healing is so minimal anyway that it doesn't really matter. You were a sorcerer? Darn. Yeah, let's see if I can get this without immediately dying. I think that the server looks really cool. But it's also very strange in terms of like being a curved sword. Oh, excuse me. The leeches are unnecessarily dangerous. They do a lot of damage on just a normal hit. Server. Oh my god. Everything's fine. Wow, I didn't die. Large Titanite Shard. I didn't know that was here. I feel like I should have, to be honest. The leeches can drop large Titanite Shards, can't they? That is so terrifying. Oh my god. I hate that visual. Okay. Go ahead and equip this. Gonna have to be naked. That's fine. The thing about fall damage being forgiving, like, yeah, you do fall quite a distance. I think it's 5 in-game units, which is approximately 5 meters before you take actual damage. I mean, arguably approximately 5 meters. Wow, that is not wonderful damage, is it? I definitely need to level this up before fighting Quelaag. But like, in terms of game space, because of how depth perception works and everything, it doesn't actually seem as tall as it is. So yes, I agree. But if it was realistic, it would feel terrible. The terrorists. We're just a cover-up for some random pilot watching a gaming stream in 2001. Oh god. I pressed the left button. For as much as I've indulged in the whole Five Nights at Freddy's fan base and everything. Shockingly, pizza doesn't make me think of Five Nights at Freddy's. I have the server, Ben, and I need to get, I need to upgrade it a little bit before anything else. That's kind of like the primary. A second. This is like 30 something, 20 something. I don't know. It's been a lot of streams, especially after this past week, or these past couple weeks, I guess. One of these weeks, I want to do a like 4 or 5 streams in a row where I play through the game with all of the starting equipment and only the starting equipment. I don't know how interesting that would be on its own, but I want to do playthroughs with the starting equipment, but I don't want to make it like its own video, you know? Oh yeah, chat is... I don't know what's going on in chat right now. My funniest pizza story. Anthony, this was we went to Comic-Con in Rose City. I want to say like 2019, 2018? I don't know, something like that. And it was the night after, I believe, Comic-Con. We were walking around Portland, around near his stepdad's house. Like, I think we were walking to Fred Meyer or something. And in the parking lot of the Fred Meyer, there was a pizza restaurant. And we're walking by, and he runs in there because he needs to go to the bathroom. And he comes out, and it's like, we need to go. Because apparently he had clogged the toilet, and a janitor was walking in at the time. That was a very funny time. Chat, I hope chat is having a good time. That's all I wish for during my streams. I'm just here as a backdrop for the chat. That's the only funny story I have relating to pizza. I don't know. Not everyone's heard it yet. Yeah, great story, exactly. Yeah, honestly, most of my engagement was also MatPat and Markiplier, but I've also read all of the books that were released up until... I don't remember if I ever read Somnophobia, but all the ones released before Somnophobia, I read. The whole series, the whole Fazbear Frights thing, the Pizzaplex ones. So I have definitely engaged with quite a bit more FNAF than most people who have even played all the games. The sword is the server, and it heals 7 HP every time you land a hit against an enemy. So I'm going to maximize all my healing stuff that isn't Estus, or more viable in terms of like, because it's not a good sword damage-wise. And I want to see if the healing kind of makes up for that. Like, to give perspective, right now, the mace is doing more damage at this sword's base requirements because it scales off of dex, which is great for a greatsword. Oh, I can't parry with the talisman. Did I rest? I don't remember if I rested. I don't even know why I'm trying to kill the Black Knight. I don't know what I'm doing. Hello, Robin. Welcome to the stream. I didn't rest! I can't believe this. This is tragic. Final Destination. Final Destination being like a vanilla one-on-one fair thing. You know what I mean? Underwear that was specifically made to be eaten, did I? Your dad gave you edible underwear when you were a child. That's it's a funny story. I need to be drinking more water. I know I do this every time, but I have ADHD. Leave me alone. Have a good night, Brenda. Thank you for joining while you could. Welcome, Foss. Great time for you to join for the first time. Talk about... Yeah, okay. I don't know if the caffeine is kicked in. That's probably why I'm playing so poorly right now. I mean, to be fair, edible underwear is like basically candy. It's usually a gummy candy that you wear for the first 5 minutes of an encounter, and then it's gone for the rest of it. The server description changes. Oh, trying not to die. Hold on. I probably won't infuse it with... Actually, infusing it with chaos might be a good idea. Because, like... Well, no, because I want to use Sunlight Blade. I didn't know that, though. That's weird. I didn't know that changed anything, actually. Just a couple more seconds. The pizza. Give it to me. Yeah, one person puts it on, and then the other person like playfully chews it off, and then from what I've heard, I haven't, shockingly somehow, I haven't actually used edible underwear personally, but from what I've heard, they're pretty gross, and not super fun. Like, you know, considering they're usually sugary, I imagine it would be sticky, which I don't think would be very fun to have in the areas that you would put underwear on, but you know. Ew. I don't know. I feel like being in these streams, I would be shocked if people who were here frequently were sex repulsed at all. Yeah, sticky and slimy and gross. Oh yeah, fun idea, 100%, but not great execution. I don't know if there is a good execution, is the thing. Yeah, hi Lamb. Welcome to the stream. Okay, now that I've actually rested, and I'm not gonna lose everything if I die. Just gonna go ahead and... Oh my god. I don't know how to parry that one. Come down here. Please. Oh my god. I'm so disappointed in myself. Edible underwear wedgie? No. Why did I have to glance up at chat and see that? Alright, well. Oh my god. Everything's fine. Okay, I don't know how to parry these guys, apparently. I thought I did, but that would be incorrect. Just lost 4 viewers. The concurrent viewer thingy isn't entirely accurate most of the time, but it would be very funny if I lost 4 viewers at the exact moment that happened. Oops, okay, that one was just skill issue. I mean, yeah, sticky, slimy, gross. I'm shocked that you're here so frequently, Carl, if you're Ace. I feel like a lot of the conversations in these streams end up being very not Ace. There we go. I don't really know why I'm doing that. I guess I just want souls. But this is not a good way to get souls. Do something. Oh my god. I don't care anymore. It's not worth it. Evidently. It's fine. I mean, as long as you have like a set of clothes that you're specifically planning on ripping and they're like cheap and whatever, and you don't do it every single time, you know what I mean? The wastefulness is secondary. I was backstabbing after the parry because I wanted to push it off the edge because there's no way I'm going to do enough damage with parries with how bad I am, evidently, at parrying Black Knights to actually kill it. So I was just trying to push it off the edge, but, you know. Just not just here for the babes. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Very few people in my Discord, I feel like, could say that. Link to the Discord in the description, I guess. Might as well mention that. Vanilla Dr. Pepper, it doesn't sound great. Then again, I don't like Dr. Pepper, so that's probably not the best person to judge that. Yeah, I mean, even I usually kill that knight for souls. I think it drops a blue chunk, which I never use, but you know. Hello, Frappuccino. Thank you so much for the compliment. I don't know. I don't like. That's what I want to make these videos for because that's why I watch a lot of videos that I watch. So I'm glad I can be that for someone. Oop, purchase Titanite shard. I need one more. And hopefully, actually, I can't. It costs 400 souls. Okay, well, I can get a free Titanite shard from killing the heavy knight. Live and die by Dr. Pepper. I wouldn't say I live and die by it, but I prefer Diet Coke by far. Diet Coke is my favorite soda, and at this point has become my autism drink, so. I don't know, Dr. Pepper has like a weird bitter taste to me, so I just don't like it. Dr. Pepper versus Dr. House. I heard this on TikTok, and I don't know if it's true because I've never seen anything about Dr. House other than a couple like random memes. But supposedly, Dr. House is called House because it's an adaptation of Sherlock Holmes. I don't know if that's true. I really hope it is though, because that's really funny. And then the TikTok went on to make the joke that we almost had Dr. Apartment, but just like Matt Pat. Okay. I did also used to be extremely autistic about game theory. I had seen every episode of game theory, film theory, food theory, and style theory up until I made the video that I did about a film theory video. But every single video they had uploaded prior, I don't need that. I don't know why I got that. I had actually seen every single one. So Matt Pat is initially why I tried Diet Coke, but I just ended up liking it more. I'm glad so many of us here are artistic about Dark Souls. The best makeout location in Dark Souls 1? I don't know. Personally, I think the smoking break bridge on top of Sens, I think that's a pretty good one. But I understand the bone wheel sewers too. It's like hidden away. You can get freaky in there. It's not an adaptation, but it's inspired by Holmes. Game theory. So the thing is, I don't know how many people here have watched my film theory video. That was a long time ago, and it was before all the Souls content, so it wouldn't surprise me if very few, if not nobody here, had seen that video. But there is a lot more. I took a lot of what they had said for granted a lot of the time, and it wasn't until like I noticed something that was obviously wrong that I went back and like actually paid attention to potential, not even necessarily misinformation, but just like unintentionally being wrong or taking statistics and running with them instead of like analyzing them or whatever. It's just they're not good science communicators. They were when they were doing like the physics stuff long time ago, but yeah, now that they're doing more like sociology stuff, they're not good. Right above Andre's forge. That's so true. Andre ASMR. When I go take a pee break before fighting Sif. Oh, that was rude. Man. You gotta pay attention to class. At least a little bit. Making out in front of Oswald. You know, personally, I think it's actually better to make out in front of Petrus, because Petrus is like, you know, cleric or whatever, and making Petrus uncomfortable is like half my life goal. I feel like Rhea is a closeted homosexual, and then Vince and Nico make out with each other, as has been established. But Petrus specifically is homophobic. Petrus is incredibly evil. I need to potentially pay attention to the video game a little bit. That is shockingly good damage. I know, this sword isn't great, especially relative to other curved swords, but I was expecting it to be worse, to be entirely honest. The entrance log in Ash Lake, every time you look up, the music just starts... the music going in and out while you're making out. That's so funny. That's so good. Make Petrus uncomfortable by making out with Rhea. Yeah, but like, I don't know. Petrus is gonna kill Rhea, or is planning on killing Rhea anyway. I feel like making out with Rhea wouldn't make him too uncomfortable, just because he knows that Rhea is gonna die one way or another. What if it's a trans girl, a lesbian polycule then? Is it just all sweaty trans girls? Remastest is pretty great. I need to play more Remastest. I've played it a few times. I've done like 3 casual playthroughs. I've done that gun video. I want to do a bow only playthrough in it for a video to see how overpowered they are in that mod. But definitely a very good mod. Remastest bow only will happen at some point. I don't have plans specifically when I'm gonna do that right now. Probably within, I don't know, a couple months. But I also have a bunch of other videos that I'm currently working on. Oh, that only counts as 1 heal? I was hoping that would count as a bunch of heals. Maybe I should have gotten the evil eye ring before coming here. Oops. Hiya. Oh god, we're fine. To be honest, if the Channeler's Trident had been dropped there, I would have pivoted this entire stream. Channeler's Trident playthrough. Okay, let's see. I think I'm just gonna go straight to Firelink, and then we can do depth skip and do all that. I can plan on doing Remastered Espo only earlier. I know this week I want to try and get like a proper video out for the Diablo style item drops mod. Next week, I have a video planned. I don't know if I'm going to make it in the style that I want to make it quickly enough to have it out next week though. But I can try and plan on getting Remastered Espo only out within the next 4 weeks. I always forget that Lotrack is like a thing that most people don't do. Unless you're going in fully blind, most people probably don't do the normal Lotrack playthrough. I should probably level up health, since that's like the thing with this playthrough. Oops, but I also want more vitality. Or I mean, faith rather. I don't know. Vitality makes sense. Alright, have fun with dinner. Hope it's yummy. I forgot about Nightfall too. Nightfall is another... I want to do Daughters of Ash and I want to do Nightfall. I remember playing the demo of Nightfall a long, long time ago. and not liking it very much, but now that I've played this game so much more and enjoy all aspects of these games more, I think I'll probably enjoy it more. A food. The Lautrec's armor. I always forget about Lautrec's armor too. I just prefer the brass armor to it, so my brain doesn't remember it because I don't like it super much. Pardon me. Just gonna go ahead and scoot by. Pardon? Scallywag, a scamp. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. That was rude. Pardon me. Hey. Kick back and have a good time with. I suppose so. Oh my god. Please, let me get up. Ugh. There we go. There we go. Extremely normal Dark Souls gameplay. As per usual. Gonna have to heal not that far from the fall damage, so. It would be cool if I could actually land in the right spot. I should be good at this. Latrex is Kirk's armor, but smoother. I mean, I guess it's the same shape, but Kirk's armor doesn't have arms going across it, so I don't know if that counts. Alright, I got it this time. I should be good at this. Once again, I do this all the time. There we go. Nice. Doing the depths without Estus is annoying, but not that bad. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Crescent Axe is faith scaling, huh? Patches is an interesting character. I like the fan theory that Patches is the figurative pygmy. That's one of my favorite fan theories for anything. It feels so good. Oh, yeah. I guess nobody wanting to hug Kirk does make total sense. That would be why he doesn't have an arm going across his chest. Poor Kirk, butching people out unintentionally. Truly relatable. Using the slimes to heal is actually probably not a good idea because it's only 7 HP per hit, but it's funny to think about doing. Can they drop large Titanite shards? I know they can drop some upgrade material, but I don't remember what it is. Wow, that is so little damage. Grass Crest might have been a good idea until I get Sanctus, but this is technically healing me. Slowly. Your wife falls through floors and, oh, okay, well, all the healing is gone. Truly incredible. What a good weapon. Personally, I think falling through floors and walking through dimensions is very fun. I don't know, I feel like this build would synergize really well with Power Within, but I also don't want to get Power Within because it's so out of the way. I'll check the cuddled. There we go. Lucky. Oh my god. That's unfortunate. Stop it, please. Gonna go ahead and use the second one of those. Oh, okay, last heal. Not that it should matter very much, but... What? Really? Why didn't you jump away? I suck at fighting the butchers. After all this time. Of all the enemies to be bad at fighting, I don't understand why it's the butchers, but here we are. I think it's because I always try to parry them, and you can't parry like half their attacks, and the ones that you can have like really weird timing. Here we go. Perfect. If this doesn't one-shot, it'll be unfortunate, but... Okay, we're good. Sack. Indeed. Oh, I was gonna say I should get the bonfire, but I can't. I mean, I can, but then I'd have to fight the gaping dragon with a +5, which, from experience, is not a great time. I don't remember where the Ring of the Evil Eye is, to be entirely honest. I think it's down here? Oh my god. Hey, I found it! Wow. Come on. Use bone! Damn it! The menus. Okay, we're good. Everything's fine. Just let me out. What is it? Legendary? I wish. Then it might actually be useful. Okay, put that on. Yeah, vitality, why not? Okay, now I could go upgrade this weapon to like +6. I don't know if I have a second. Or a Titan Nightshard. And then I can actually go fight Quelaag and do a half decent amount of damage. Gaping Dragons is your favorite? I honestly don't remember Gaping Dragons very much. I don't remember a lot of boss themes, to be honest. Sif's is definitely the most memorable. Telepathically control flies. You'd look so cool. You could do the chopstick grab every time. Because you could just make the fly land on your chopstick and make it look like you grabbed it out of midair. That'd be so cool. I could do Send Skip and get some large Titanite shards, but nah. I honestly also don't remember Capras. Lord of the Flies. I don't know why I rested there. That was the incorrect decision, but it's fine. Equip the sack. I have the sack equipped. I've had it equipped for a little while at least. This is the server, yeah. Okay, I don't have another one to get to +7, but that's fine. I could have grabbed the other one in Blighttown, but... I feel like the... Most importantly, Shisak is a very trans girl referential thing to say. Yeah, I've been interested in using the server, and then I just didn't use the Murakumo forever. But yeah, I've been wanting to use the server since then, and I just never did. The Discord sword. Yeah, plenty of opportunities to promote the Discord server in this stream that I almost definitely won't be capitalizing on. Only because I'll forget, 100%. Yeah, the server looks really cool. I've always liked how the server looked. The icon makes it look like it'll just be a normal curved sword, and then it isn't at all. I don't have purple mods. One of my favorite songs in the Soul series as a whole is One Who Eats Souls from Demon Souls. It's so good. Demon Souls soundtrack is incredible. Souls of Mist is also one of my favorites, if not my favorite. Hence why I use it in literally every single video. Yeah, that's why I specifically use the weapon model itself in the thumbnail instead of the icon, because the icon doesn't really work, especially in this instance. There's a lot of times where the icon just does not look good. Demon Souls is very good. I highly recommend playing it, you know, at least once. Yeah, that's the one thing that I think the remaster just did so much worse. Like the atmosphere is different, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily worse. But the soundtrack is honestly just worse because it just removes everything that was so great about the original Demon Souls soundtrack and just kind of became generic. So Ludwig, my favorite Bloodborne boss theme is Orphan of Kos by far. I don't even remember Ludwig's either. I do know that I definitely love Orphan of Kos's though. That's one of my favorites as well. A lot of people say that Lawrence's is really good, but I really do not like Lawrence's. I don't like anything about the Lawrence fight. Awful boss. I'm gonna put this on just so I can get through the swamp quicker. I'm not gonna use like Humanity or Divine Blessing or anything to heal either. Just because I feel like those go against the spirit of this. I don't know, I hesitate to say challenge, but this specific style of playthrough that I'm doing. I just genuinely do not remember Ludwig's at all. Honestly, that fight was not underwhelming, but it was one of those things that's like, okay, the first phase was really hard. The second phase is going to be much harder, and then the second phase in the game, like if Ludwig was only the second phase, it would be incredibly easy and incredibly underwhelming, and the first phase was a lot harder. But I don't know, it just because of how I expected Ludwig to be going into it, it was kind of an underwhelming fight. And then the theme didn't really do any favors in my opinion, just because I don't know, I didn't pay much attention to it. I'm gonna wait for the poison to go down a bit, just because I don't trust myself to be able to heal in the middle of the fight. Wait, that's what the sword is for. Never mind. I've heard really good things about Ender Lilies. I think I have it, and I think I started playing it a little bit, if I'm not confusing it with another game. But I haven't like properly played it yet. Oh my god. Okay, skill issue. Definitely gonna have to heal. There we go. Salt and Sanctuary is also one of those games that like I downloaded or I bought and I played a little bit because I had heard good things about it. But I don't know. I don't really like Salt and Sanctuary personally. You can, oh my god, you can probably hit Quelaag with the server and get the stagger. I'm gonna go ahead and heal again. That's because I got hit by the lava. Oh my god. I should probably get Great Heal Excerpt. That's available to me. I can just go buy it from Petrus. What the? I don't think I've ever been hit by that in my life. Oh god. Almost got hit by it a second time. This is a very inconvenient spot to be for this boss fight. Need to, but I would like to for safety. Okay. Oh god, that's so mean. Using a range attack right after running directly up next to me. Now I can just focus on doing damage. Yeah, the healing isn't great. I think Smo's hammer is slightly more, but obviously Smo's hammer is slower. The Butcher's Knife is slightly lower, and the Butcher's Knife is also slower. So this is probably the best weapon for healing on hit. But that's, you know, not really saying much. The damage is a bit underwhelming, but I'm also at a +6 with a really low... That one makes sense. Ow. Oh my god. 148 on an R2 isn't bad. Yeah, the Butcher's Knife, the Server, obviously, and Smo's Hammer all do healing on hit. 5 HP for the Butcher's Knife, 7 HP for the Server, and 10 HP for Smo's Hammer, I believe. I didn't notice until like halfway through my playthrough, if I remember correctly, that I did with Aurora. I don't know. I didn't notice for a long time. I don't know if it was quite that far in, but... Celeste is very good. I highly recommend Celeste if you haven't played it, or if you've only played it a little bit. I started playing it again recently, doing like B-sides and stuff, and I was having a really good time. I opened up the game for the first time in months and just kind of started doing, I think it was 5B, whatever the Mirror Temple is. And I didn't realize that I was playing the B-side. So I was like, oh yeah, this game's hard. I remember it being hard. But I wasn't finding any strawberries, and I was so confused because I didn't know that strawberries didn't appear in B-sides. I had just completely forgotten because it had been so long since I played it. But I did beat it in like a couple hundred deaths. I don't remember. Very fun. Trying to think of what games I've 100%ed. I've 100%ed a few Zelda games. Dark Souls, obviously. Dark Souls 1 only. Bloodborne, Elden Ring. I've 100%ed Super Mario 64 dozens of times, and the DS port. I did a little bit of post-summit. I did the core. I never did Farewell, because, oh my god, that's so hard. But the B-sides are really fun. I do eventually want to do Farewell, though. I also played it before I transitioned, I think. And I didn't realize that Madeline was trans for the longest time. It wasn't until I was, like, watching. Well, the trans flag, or at least the colors, show up several times in, like, Summit. Every time you grab Madeline, the colors in the background are the trans colors. Is there any, like, armor that gives you healing at all? I want to say one of the pieces of armor of Thorns does, but I don't think it does, actually. Yeah, Celeste is very, very good. There were so many things I did before I transitioned that should have been like, oh, I'm trans, obviously. I think the funniest one was I literally transitioned my animal. So I changed my Animal Crossing character to be a girl. And it made me enjoy the game so much more. And it just didn't occur to me that might be because being a guy in real life also makes me uncomfortable. Like, there were so many signs. I should have known. I need to blow my nose. I feel like this is probably a good time to blow my nose. I think I'll be safe here. Okay, good. Blowing my nose in the middle of a Dark Souls boss fight. Regardless of it being Ceaseless Discharge, I think that's funny. Okay. Yeah, I also Well, in New Leaf, my first character. No, I did play as a guy in New Leaf. It wasn't until New Horizons, but in Pokemon games, I would always play as a girl in like Mario Party and Mario Kart. I would always play as Peach every single time. Um, in Dark Souls, before I transitioned, I would almost always play as a. There were so many signs. Personally, I really enjoyed New Horizons, but um, I don't know if it's the best game to. I don't know. It depends on what you want from Animal Crossing. I know a lot of people really preferred New Leaf because it didn't give the degree of customization that New Horizons did. And needing to like play within the limitations was part of the fun of New Leaf for them. Um, or even like, the original or Wild World or whatever. Um, New Horizons. It's 10,000 souls. Jesus. Yeah, like I said, I prefer New Horizons just because I like that um, customization that you can get. There we go. Yoshi and Mario Kart. In Mario Kart 64 specifically, I would play as Toad. No, was it Toad? I don't remember actually. It was either Toad or Yoshi in Mario Kart 64. But once I got to like Double Dash or Wii, I would always play as Peach. Um, I loved Mario Kart 64 as a kid, and I went to try and play it again a few months ago, and it's so clunky. It's so hard to play after playing like 8 and Double Dash and Wii almost exclusively for so long. 64 is very, very weird to play. I like it. I still think it's fun. The mini turbos in 64 I think feel pretty good, but otherwise, yeah, funky. Yeah, nostalgia is definitely part of the reason I can even try and play it more. Mario Kart 8 is good. I started with 7 because I had gotten a 2DS. Or, okay, well, my experience playing Mario Kart was 64 when I was a young child. And then I got Double Dash once I got a GameCube, which was great, and I loved it. I played Wii a tiny bit at a friend's house. And then the first Mario Kart game I really got into was Mario Kart 7 because I had gotten a 2DS for my birthday that came, or rather for Christmas, that came with 7, and I like really got into it. I played it quite a bit. Um, and then eventually I got a Switch and got 8 and got a little bit into that, not a bunch, but never played DS. That's not true. I had played a little bit of DS, but like I had to go specifically out of my way to play DS because I heard people say it was good. Um, yeah, I don't know. I did play Double Dash a lot actually, but I never like got into doing all the modes and stuff. Um, I don't know. I feel like 7 is definitely underrated. Double Dash is incredible and is definitely underrated. But 8, I feel like is also overhated. A lot of people like really don't like 8, and I don't really understand why. Wait, no, I don't want to kill this guy. Um, I can get a plus 15 actually before going to Anor Londo. I should do that. I'm gonna get the cage key and then come back down and go get the very large ember. Get the chunks from Sens here, and then also the chunks in the 2 of them that are just freely available in New Londo that you don't have to grind. But I forgot about Mario Kart Advanced. I did play a little bit of Super Circuit and Advanced when I was like really into emulation as a child, just because it let me experience so many games that I had always heard things about but had never gotten the chance to play. And I could not play those two. Yeah, I mean, 8 is a good game for sure. Um, a lot of people feel like it takes away a lot of the spirit of Mario Kart with like the charm that Double Dash and Wii and DS had, but need a cage to need a key. I've never used Priscilla's dagger. Is it like usable through the whole game? Because from what I've heard, it's like not super great, but the bleed is good, which is good for a couple bosses. While the Life on Scythe is just a good weapon kind of thing. So there's not really any reason to use her dagger. Eventually, I want to play through the game with every weapon, but is Priscilla's dagger one that I should specifically be going out of my way to try? Unique R2. I'm kind of running out of weapons to use. I know I do want to do the Channeler's Trident at some point, but that's kind of... Oops, I accidentally punched my microphone. That's kind of the only one that's like on my list to use right now. I should do a poll with a list of interesting weapons that I think people on there for sure. Any other cool weapons that I should do a stream with that I haven't done yet? Or even like full-on builds that I should try? Oh, you mean in Remastered test, I see. But, yeah, I don't know. Does it have an S? I have no idea. As much as I played this game, unfortunately do not have encyclopedic knowledge of weapons and upgrades and stuff. Eventually I will. So, what was I raging about? A worse bandit's knife? I don't think I've even played through with the bandit's knife. I know the bandit's knife is like usable because of enchantments, but how many large shards do I have? I need one more. Perfect. Okay, so Priscilla's dagger goes on the list then. What other weapons are there that I haven't done? I mean, there's a lot, obviously, but any specifically that I would want to go out of my way to use that would be like interesting and fun to use for an entire playthrough that aren't like impossible to get, like the Ghost Blade, and aren't completely awful, also like the Ghost Blade. I don't know. I mean, dragon scales aren't particularly difficult to get. There are 10 guaranteed that you can get. I think there are more than 10. I don't remember. But like, worst comes to worst, you know, you kill a couple drakes. Just dupe them. I don't know. Alright, trying not to look at chat while running along the thin pathway. I'm not gonna go down yet because I want to kill the giant real quick to get the chunk. And then, let me think. I got 2 from the... You need 6 chunks for 14? So then there's the 2 from here, there's the 2 that I got from the lizard, and then there's the 2 in New Londo, which should be enough. Yeah, I don't know. Getting dragon scales isn't that bad. The drakes aren't the hardest thing to kill. They're annoying, but they're not that bad. This sure is technically damage. Can't wait to see how much more I do with this thing actually upgraded. Oh god. Yeah, I wish more weapons had unique offhand movesets. I think the Tracers would be a fun stream. I'll put that on the poll too. Don't know what else to do though. Alright. Now we head down. I'll get the very large ember. Is it the Silver Tracer that has the offhand moveset? I don't remember. No, the Gold Tracer goes in the offhand. I don't remember. I feel like combining that with weapons other than the Tracer combo could be fun. One of them has a cool spin attack on the. If only they had backported Power Stancing into Dark Souls 1 with Remastered. I also usually use regular weapons. I mean, I'm using the server, which is a very standard weapon. Oh, I've never used the Iaito. That's a good one, too. I've used the washing pole, but I haven't streamed it. Isn't the Iaito just like a slightly different Uchi Katana? I can't remember what it's called, Jesus. That's up plus 10. I hope you have a nice nap, Lamb. Iaito is similar to Uchi. I don't know. I don't like the Uchi. I feel like the Uchi is extremely overrated. I don't like the moveset. It's kind of boring. This is indeed the server, yes. Something Discord server joke. Link in the description. I don't know. Oh, and I'm getting extra healing because Evil Eye. I kind of forgot about that. Not that Evil Eye healing is useful at all, but it is technically there. I should attune Great Heal. Yeah, the weapon is the server. The Iaito is super easy to get from the top of Blighttown. Like from the entrance to Blighttown, you just run forward, past the barbarians and a couple ghouls, and then you just make like a super easy jump down onto a platform, and it's right there. I think jumping down to it is the only way to get to it. Don't quote me on that, obviously, but yeah, have to make a jump. Okay. It's a super easy jump. It's not like far at all. And landing on the Iaito platform is like the fastest way through Blighttown anyway, because you just run forward, jump off, and then the bonfire is like right there. So. I don't know. Like I said, I feel like the Uchi Katana is severely overrated. Oops, there we go. That's scary. Just because like it's really slow on the two-handed moveset. Like I guess like you'd want motion value scaling, and the R1 moveset, like, or I mean the one-handed moveset isn't that much better. And it does less damage because of motion value scaling and everything. So I don't know. All right, let's see if I can potentially not die to the ghosts. That would be preferable. So far, so good. Power Stancing is using two weapons. You can pair most weapons. I don't think you can pair every class, but there's a good chunk of classes that you can pair. Like Great Sword with Straight Sword, or Straight Sword with Hammer. Those are some of the most fun ones because you have multiple damage types. You have different speeds of attacks that you can use. You can also do two of the same weapon class. Like two Ultra Great Swords is very funny because you just get two massive swords you're constantly swinging around. Yeah, lets you combine movesets from weapons and also add a unique moveset on top of it. It's very fun. Adds a ton of build variety to Dark Souls 2 that none of the other games have. Like even Elden Ring, power stancing isn't nearly as diverse as Dark Souls 2 power stancing. Highly recommend messing around with power stancing in Dark Souls 2. I just did a playthrough with the Craftsman's Hammer, ouchie, and the Blacksmith Hammer in Dark Souls 2, and that was a very fun playthrough, power stancing the two. Yeah, I wish to backport power stancing into Dark Souls 1 because I would eat that up. I feel like it would take a lot of work because a lot of it is like having unique movesets. Um, but God, I would never play without that mod. Crossman's Hammer and Mace. I've heard the Mace isn't good in Dark Souls 2 because of the range. Um, but that doesn't really seem like that it would be that big of an issue. I do want to do a playthrough of Dark Souls 2 with the Mace. I've done a playthrough with like power stancing 2 broadswords. That was a fun playthrough. Um, I've done just one Morning Star. That was a interesting and actually pretty fun playthrough. I like that one. I might have actually power stanced Morning Stars. Can you buy them from Lenagrast? I don't remember. Rapier and Curved Sword and Rapier and Dagger. I don't think I've tried either of those combos. That sounds really fun. If I had $900 to give to Inferno Plus to put power stancing in Dark Souls 1, absolutely. Not like if he would do it and I had the money, no question. Targray. I should know who Targray is. My brain is just not braining. I wish the Puzzling Stone Sword was better. It's a really fun, really cool moveset, but it just kind of sucks in terms of damage, which makes me really sad because it's so much fun to use. I did do a playthrough with the Puzzling Stone Sword, though. That was fun. Oh, that guy, right. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, now that you say that. Okay. Large volumes of maces. I mean, if you buy a bunch, he'll give you the blacksmith hammer if you talk to him. I don't remember how much you have to give him, but you have to give him, like, I want to say like 9,000 souls or something. But specifically buying weapons from him to get the blacksmith hammer. Unfortunately, upgrades don't count towards that total. No, other way around. Buying weapons doesn't count towards the total, but spending it on upgrades does. I got it completely backwards. There are a lot of weapons in especially Dark Souls 3 that are so cool, but they just have such a low damage that they're not even worth using. The Dancer Swords come to mind. I would absolutely have done several playthroughs of Dark Souls 3 with the Dancer Swords if the motion values on them weren't obliterated and they weren't useless. Oh, the Dragon Slayer Sphere? I don't think I've ever used that in Dark Souls 2. It's not great in Dark Souls 1, but Dark Souls 2, like, split damage is very different. Actually usable, so. Oh my god, I messed up the parry immediately because of course I did. Gonna go ahead and just in case. If I could make one weapon in any of the games good, that isn't good already, it would absolutely be Dancer Swords. Because they're so cool looking. There we go. Honestly, like unironically, every weapon in Dark Souls 2 is entirely viable. Just because of how crazy the build variety is in Dark Souls 2. Like, you can buff the hell out of, like, the ladle. I mean, Yasmania is proof of the viability of everything in Dark Souls 2. The whip specifically is good in Dark Souls 1. I've never used any of the other whips in this game. I know they're good in Dark Souls 2. Not from experience, but... Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, the whip specifically in Dark Souls 1 is extremely overrated, and people call it... Like, there have been so many whip. The whip playthrough I did was one of my favorite playthroughs I've ever done. One from the Abyss Watchers that lets you like do sweeping attacks and stuff. Fist weapon builds in Dark Souls 1 are bad. You just gotta build for them correctly. Relying purely on the damage of the fist weapon isn't a great idea, but they're really fast and take really low stamina. So if you invest in a weapon buff like Sunlight Blade or Dark Moon Blade, they're pretty good. Same with daggers too. Daggers in Dark Souls 1 base damage wise aren't great, but they're fast and take low stamina. Definitely. Okay, so there is an exception to the whole fist weapon thing. The Dragon Bone Fist is god awful. For those of you who were there during that stream, I don't remember who was and wasn't there, but one of the worst playthroughs I've ever done in this game. Do not use the Dragon Bone Fist. I'm sure too, but I've never done the claws. Yeah, Falchion is pretty great. Yeah, Dragon Bone Fist is so bad. God, especially like the uppercut on the... I don't know, you could kick that. Fun fact, you can kick that illusory wall. I had a thought. I don't remember what it was. Oh yeah, the uppercut on the R2 on the Dragon Bone Fist is so good, so cool, but the damage is so terrible. How good is the Titanite Pebble? I remember somebody saying that I should do a playthrough with that. But from what I remember, the damage is pretty bad on the Titanite Pebble, and there's no way to upgrade it. I don't know about scaling on it, though. Depending on how, like, actually terrible it is for a full game run, that could be a fun thing to stream. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, please. Oh my god. Everything's fine. Can you go away? Oh my god. What jerks? Oh no, please. Everything's fine. Get them away from the trunk. Everything's fine. Titanite Pebble is decent. S scaling at every stat? Okay, I'll definitely put that on the list for things to stream. I don't know if that would be a better thing to stream or to do a video on, though. But I could definitely put that on my my list. Can you get more than one? I don't remember how you even get the first one, to be honest. Oh yeah, the Dark Hand thing, that you find at the beginning of New Londo. Elden Stars. Whenever I decide to stream Elden Ring, which honestly will probably be a very long time coming. I am not super fond of Elden Ring, to be entirely honest. Yeah, Darkest Hands, that's something like that. Sounds right. Okay, Andre, give me a plus 15. I need one more? Oh, the Black Knights. I didn't kill the Black Knights. Oh my god. Okay, well. Guess I'm gonna go kill the Black Knight on top of the tower in the parish. I think most things in Remastest are PvE or PvP oriented rather. Anime Dark Souls. I mean, yeah, but I don't know. Personally, I'm more fond of the grounded dark fantasy Dark Souls. I don't know. I like Elden Ring. I think it's a fun game, but in terms of being something like Dark Souls for me to stream, not exactly something I'm planning on even making content on in the future. Elden Ring is an incredible for your first playthrough. Probably behind Dark Souls 1, in my opinion, the best first playthrough of any of the Souls games. Um, and I only say behind Dark Souls 1 because I'm autistic. um, but yeah, the first playthrough experience of Elden Ring is incredible. Hello, Lunai. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I really want to like Elden Ring more than I do, but I don't know. What are you gonna do, right? I don't think it being too open is the issue. Oh my god. It's the issue for me. Um, excuse me. That was rude, first of all. All right. Prepare to get parried. Two-handed riposte out of pure spite. I don't even need to do that. Anyway. Oh, and of course I get the Black Knight Greatsword. Why wouldn't I? Oh my god, yeah. The first playthrough of Elden Ring on top of the DLC. That'd be crazy. um, the DLC is kind of short, though. Not short. That's definitely the wrong word to say. But it's like... as opposed to the base game where it did not feel like there was an end in sight for a very long time. Too long is totally understandable. I agree. It's hard to replay. Repeat playthroughs, both because of the length of the game, but also because of like the relatively small viable build variety in terms of. So while I do have 300 hours in the game, most of that 300 hours came in the first couple of months that the game is out. And I haven't, like, I've played it several times since then, especially with like seamless co-op and whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Not something that I plan on going back to super often, if ever. Yeah, a series of fetch quests, just running around grabbing a random Titanite after grabbing your weapon. Not Titanite, smithing stone shards. It's Titanite, you know what I mean. I do want to do the Elden Ring pickaxe only, or I mean the Steve from Minecraft and Dark Souls. I want to do that with Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, and Elden Ring at some point. That's probably going to be the first thing in Dark Souls 2 that I stream. Yeah, Elden Ring Blind is so much better than Spoiled for sure. I was able to play it on release day, so I didn't have anything spoiled for me, which was very nice. Slash damage against the Iron Golem. I should wait for it to be able to fall. Hopefully. Not actually sure if this will fall. Cool. Good. Elden Ring Reforged. I don't think I've... I feel like I have heard of that, but it doesn't ring a bell. I assume it's an overhaul mod like Cinders or whatever in Dark Souls 3. Just based on the name. Elden Ring's story is a lot more laid bare in a lot of parts than Dark Souls. It's like, these key things did definitely happen. And these surrounding events are almost definitely like this because of this item description combined with this thing that this character says. And with this side quest, you can see that this happened. While in Dark Souls, it's like, well, I mean, this item description implies that this happened. And I don't think one is necessarily worse than the other, but it is definitely a difference in the storytelling that is very noticeable. Do I have a second attunement slot? No. Is Great Heal Elixir better? It's faster and heals more. But I only get one. I think it's faster, right? I actually don't remember. I should check. It is not faster. I don't know why I thought it was faster. I think I'll keep Great Heal for now. Yeah, running around at the beginning of Elden Ring is never the most engaging thing. I know what you mean. A little bit longer. Yeah, Dark Souls story is, I don't know. So the thing about Dark Souls lore is Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 are mostly entirely separate. And then Dark Souls 3 connects back to Dark Souls 1 and ignores a lot of what Dark Souls 2 did. Like, Anor Londo exists? Why? What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. What about, like, all of the other kingdoms that came and disappeared between Dark Souls 1 and 2? But it also, one of the worst things I think that Dark Souls 3 does is change a lot of the item descriptions. Not change item descriptions, but the item descriptions that it does give are very, like, this is what this is, instead of, this thing implies this thing, you know what I mean? Like, the Pursuer's Shield comes to mind in Dark Souls 2. It's very implied what the Pursuers are, while in Dark Souls 3, it's like, the Pursuers hunted the undead. It's like, oh, okay, great. Love that. Thanks for letting me know. Dark Souls 3 has the worst lore of the series, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't love Dark Souls 3 for a lot of reasons. I do think it's a lot more fun since... Oh my god, I accidentally turned around. Yeah, Dark Souls 3, I enjoyed it more after doing my full game playthrough that I recorded, but the lore is not one of its strong points. Dark Souls 2 is also a lot more grand in terms of its story, like kingdoms upon kingdoms upon kingdoms, as opposed to, yeah, this one guy killed the dragons. On top of, like, the atmosphere of Dark Souls 2 being, I don't know, Dark Souls 2 is really good. Dark Souls 2 is underrated. Like, I say that, but I know that a lot of people really do like it, as much as, if not more than I do. And the common sentiment of it being considered bad is only, like, outside of the Souls games. Like, the sentiment about the Souls games generally inside the community is like, oh, this game isn't that hard. But outside, it's like, oh, that's the hardest game you'll ever play, kind of thing. And I feel like the same goes for Dark Souls 2 being bad. Like, from an outsider's perspective, a lot of people think it's worse than the other games, but most people don't think it's bad as such. So then an insider or an outsider, I say that, it's like the two groups, but someone who hasn't played the Souls games before will try out Dark Souls 2 and have a completely different impression, or I don't know, a completely different experience from what they were told. Oh god. And it's just like, I don't know, it's hard to say that Dark Souls 2 is actually hated that much, but I guess it is widely considered the worst of the three games, and I could not disagree more with that. Yeah, I don't know. I like Dark Souls 2's atmosphere a lot more, just because it feels more fantastical. Not that fantasy is necessarily better, but it's just the vibe that Dark Souls 2 has going, owie, feels cooler to me, personally. There we go. Yeah, dreamlike is a great way to put it. It's kind of like what Demon Souls was, but different, if that makes sense. Bad Dark Souls? Absolutely not. Dark Souls 2 is... Okay, so the thing about Dark Souls 2 being a bad Dark Souls game is it focuses a lot more on build than the other two Dark Souls games, right? On the build of your character, your equipment, your levels. While Dark Souls 1 will focus a lot more on the challenges themselves. So if you are immediately able to understand everything about the game and build for every single challenge accordingly, with prior knowledge, like if you don't go into Dark Souls 2 blind, yeah, sure, it's going to be a terrible Souls game. But if you go into Dark Souls 2 blind, it's an incredible Souls game, and it holds the same kind of challenge as Dark Souls 1, just in a different way. You know what I mean? Dark Souls 2 is a great Dark Souls game. I've never understood the sentiment that it's a good game but bad Souls game. That makes no sense to me. Yeah, the plunging attack tail cut is always pretty great. Iron Keep elevator? Oh, you mean going up on top of the windmill only to come out into, like, the lava land? That's honestly one of my favorite parts of Dark Souls 2. I think it adds so much to the atmosphere of being, like, absurd. I love absurdism, just like as an art form. Absurdism is like one of my favorite ways to engage with and create art. So I don't know, I love that. Also fighting Gwendolyn so that I can get the so I can get Sunlight Blade real quick, because I don't feel like duping the proofs to get Dark Moon Blade. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 is an RPG, a lot more so than Dark Souls 1 and 2 are RPGs. Yeah, it's a lot more about your character. I don't know. The boss design series that TB Skyen did goes into it really, really well, in my opinion. How Dark Souls 2 is about your character, and you as a player more than the other games. Actually, I'm gonna heal. This is a good time to heal. While I don't remember his exact conclusions and sentiments, but the way that he described it, I remember thinking, like, yeah, that's exactly how the games feel. I should rewatch that series. It's a really good series. The boss designs of Dark Souls, and the boss designs of Dark Souls 2, and then the boss designs of Bloodborne. That series was actually what inspired me to play Bloodborne the first time. I ended up wanting to watch it really bad because I loved the boss designs of Dark Souls, like that series. So I ended up buying a PlayStation 4 so I could play along while watching the series, and I ended up getting up to... I think I bought it when he did the episode on the Bloodstarved Beast, and then ended up playing up to the Bloodstarved Beast, and then watching those, and then just like playing along with the series. That was really fun. The thing is, I wish I could watch more TB Skyen, but I can't because I don't like League of Legends, and that's like most of his content. Most of his content isn't Souls, which is why I was watching him in the first place. But highly recommends TB Skyen. What were we talking about? Wait. Did I think of this because you were talking about them? I'm confused. Did I forget what I said? Dark Souls 2 is very personal. Personal, yeah, I agree. It's very... So, I say it like this, and I still think this genuinely, but I consider Dark Souls 2 to be the most romantic of the games, and I don't know if that makes sense. I don't care if it does or not. I can't, like, explain why or express why my brain is like Dark Souls 2 is the most romantic. But to me, in my mind, Dark Souls 2 is the most romantic of the series. And I think it being personal in terms of its like journey and story is part of that. Yeah, Dark Souls 2 is also a lot more hopeful in its story. That's definitely part of it too. That's actually why I got back into it. I started playing Dark Souls 2. I could not get into it because I didn't talk to NPCs. I just ran straight past Majula, went straight to over and over. I was like, okay, Dark Souls is hard. I guess I don't like this game. And then I remember watching some video essay, not a Dark Souls video essay, but somebody said something about Dark Souls being about like trying to end the undead curse. And then I stopped watching the video and went and tried playing Dark Souls again. Dark Souls 2 specifically, because Dark Souls 2 Scholar was my favorite. Regardless. Ow, rude. Why am I killing this guy? What am I doing? Oh my god, we're fine. Anyway, it being like the hopeful, like trying to help these people, even if it's only temporarily ending their suffering, like it made me want to go back and try Dark Souls 2. And then I learned the error of my ways and only got the dark ending from then on out. Dark Souls 2 is very comforting. I agree completely. Malekith. I personally do not like Malekith at all. That's one of my least favorite bosses in the entire Souls anthology. Reason for it. It's not like because of something that happens in the game. It's just romantic to me. Yeah. Um, the two Batwing demons that... Is it three? Two or three? I don't know. The Batwing demons helping you get to Anor Londo and then just attacking you here for no reason. Great. Malakat sucks. The Beast Clergyman phase is annoying. He has really annoyingly fast attacks. His hitboxes are weird. He jumps around constantly. Malekith is even worse because he jumps around all over the place. Like, there have been segments where I literally just could not hit him for well over 30 seconds just because he was jumping around and constantly shooting projectiles at me. And then he'd land, but I'd be in a slightly bad position. So I just couldn't hit him. And that just made the fight drag out so much more than it should have. I do not like the Malekith fight. Alright, Smo. Real funny. Also, good damage. Okay, good is an overstatement, but not bad damage at least. Oh my god. We're fine. Owie. Oh god. Everything's easy. Everything's fine. This game's easy. Yeah, I like Elden Ring. It's just not my favorite. Please don't. Okay. I was hoping he wouldn't scoop. To think I only wasn't able to first try Ornstein and Smo in my very first playthrough because Smo kept scooping. Unfortunate. Oh my god. We're fine. Oh my god. We're not fine. Oh my god. Please. We're fine. Everything's fine. The only ring... Or I have Favor and Protection and Evil Eye equipped right now. I think this is my first time ever actually using Evil Eye. It's not super useful because I run past most things, but, you know. It's cool to have more healing. Oh my god, I can get the Sanctus and complete the build. The server regens your health every time you attack. Okay, attunement, please. I want 3 so I can have both heals and Sunlight Blade. There we go. Now I can do actual damage. Yippee. Oh yeah, the Princess Regen Ring. I forgot that was a thing. Does it regen in Dark Souls 1? I actually don't remember. I could stay in the Princess Guard so I could use the Pisaka Miracles too. Let me just join your covenant. Why do you take so long to talk? Jeez. The problem with Ninja Flip is it takes a lot of efforts to get the ring. To get the Darkwood Grinding, you have to like, kill the guy, and it's just... Oh, that one's Miracles energy. Smo's Hammer does regen, and it regens slightly more, but it's slower. So the regen is less overall, I think. And I don't feel like upping my strength enough to use Smo's Hammer. I'm gonna go straight down to get the Sanctus, I think. Unusably giant? I mean, I've done a playthrough with Smo's Hammer. I think it's a really fun weapon to use. It's just like, it takes forever to get the strength that you need to wield it. Which is really annoying. Pardon me. It has the same problem as the Grant, where it's just like, it takes so many levels to be able to use that by the time you're able to use it, it's like not super useful. Like in New Game Plus, it's not a good weapon for New Game Plus because you can't buff it, right? So. Can't see the enemy behind the hammer. I don't remember if I parried at all in my For instance, my playthrough with Aurora. I probably did. I probably at least parried Gwyn. What has the same problem as every weapon in Elden Ring? I assume Smo's hammer, but which problem? The stat thing just not being useful by the time you're actually able to use it. I almost died. Wasn't even looking at chat that time, and I almost ran full force off the cliff. I don't know. Elden Ring just gives you a lot of levels anyway, especially if you're killing all the bosses. I feel like that's less of an issue in Elden Ring. Why do you turn so fast? Let me backstab you. I'll probably, after I get another attunement slot, I'll probably just upgrade Vitality for the rest of the run. At least until I get to 40. And then Dexterity for a little bit more base damage. Oops. Your P-scaling in Dex with only 13 Dex isn't great. With, I think it's either E or D scaling in Strength, so... Despite the stupidly high Strength requirement. Could you not, maybe, actually? That was so rude. Definitely should have the other heal equipped, but it's fine. Nice, thanks for the slight amount of health. I've also never used the server. That's, I guess, I mean, that's why I'm streaming it. I like using weapons that I've never used before, and like kind of trying to make the run unique to the weapon. Hence why I have the Ring of the Evil Eye on right now, and I'm going to get the Sanctus. Like, who's going to use the Sanctus? You know what I mean? Or not the Sanctus, sorry, the server. I'm going to cry if I die to Pinwheel. Come back. Instability damage. Skip the second phase. What's the mask? If I get Mask of the Mother, I feel like... Okay, never mind. Mask of the Mother would probably make sense to equip. There are quite a few respec thingies, the larval tiers in Elden Ring, especially like down in the... Is it Nokron or Noxtella? I think it's Noxtella, the city. There are quite a few there if you explore. And it is really helpful for like trying out cool weapons you find. A lot of the times the cool weapons are bad, which is really unfortunate. But there are a couple of really cool weapons that are really fun. The Wing of Estelle comes to mind. I really, really like the Wing of Estelle. That's probably my favorite weapon in Elden Ring. Solar Pellets Discord community. Good for experimenting. Yeah, okay. I agree. Alright, let's see if I can get through the tomb without dying. I trust myself mostly. 18 larval tears? That's more than I was expecting, honestly. Oh my god, we're fine. Yeah, the Wing of Estelle special attack is crazy for stance breaks and stuff. Regen ring. What is the regen ring in Dark Souls 1? I don't... it's just... I'm just forgetting what it is and how to get it. Because I did... Because as far as I know, the Ring of the Evil Eye is the only ring that offers healing at all in Dark Souls 1. I forgot to be human. I don't think there is a healing ring in Dark Souls 1. But Bountiful Sunlight is good. Okay, humanity. Only in remaster test, okay. Oh yeah, the tiny beings ring just gives you a tiny bit of extra health. Is the tiny beings ring um percentage based? Like favor and protection and Havels, or is it just a base amount of health that it gives you that's super tiny? Because if it's percentage based, it could potentially maybe be a tiny bit useful in select circumstances, but if it's not percentage based, then it is probably the most useless ring in this game. Um, Not that it has, well, I mean, Bluetooth is already pretty useless. Percentage based? 5%? Okay, that makes sense. I'm gonna bring Paladin in here so he doesn't go flying off the edge and I can't pick up the Sanctus. Imagine. I mean, if you already have super high vitality though, like the Tiny Beings ring isn't gonna be as good as um, favor and protection anyway if you really want that health increase. So, I don't know. Alright, finally put that on, and then put this in the offhand, for the second offhand slot. Still mid-roll, or still fast roll, I mean, that's nice. Can you parry with Sanctus? You can, good. I'll grab, Bountiful Sunlight is from one of the Pusakas, right? I don't remember. I know you need to be, or at least according to the wiki, you need to be in the Princess Guard Covenant to actually use the miracles. So I wasn't planning on picking them up, but because I'm in the Princess Guard anyway, I might as well. I don't know if I should go back and heal. Going back and heal, or I mean leveling up is probably a good idea. So I don't like end up losing these souls to Neato, but it's also just Neato and I should be doing plenty of damage. So I'm not too concerned. Min-max HP build. Okay, let's see. Yeah, nothing special. Nothing to it but to do it, I suppose. I'll pull out Great Heal immediately. I won't? That was so little fall damage? Okay, I'll take it. Just gotta not die to the skeletons. Pardon me. No, that's unfortunate. Oh, I messed up the timing, and I'm toxic. Okay, that's awesome. It's just Neato. Who's gonna die to Neato? Yes, I currently have the Sanctus equipped. My game just lagged really bad. I don't know if that was my computer or not. My computer does do that every so often, but I've never actually had it happen during a stream. Hopefully OBS isn't dead. Yeah, just, that fight did go extremely well. Okay, stream also glitched. Cool. Good to know. I should use Sunlight Blade as soon as I drop in this time. Just better stutter. Excuse me. Like, they attack extremely slowly, especially because of how long the spawn animation takes with them climbing out of the ground, but it's still terrifying. Oh, owie. That was rude. I've never actually been hit by that. Okay, looks like I'm using Great Heal as soon as I drop down this time. Pardon me? Princess Guard isn't required. Okay, so the wiki was incorrect. Crazy. Oh, great. What? So fun fact. You roll into the wall with the correct timing, it will still actually hit you. Despite not having hit me if I hadn't rolled into the wall. That's pretty cool. That's so awesome. That may be one of the most disappointing deaths I've ever had in this game. Princess Guard is required. Okay. I don't know. I would say we would find out, but since I'm already in Princess Guard, I guess we won't. How high is the faith requirement? Oh my god, Anthony, thank you. Thank you for the gifted membership. I know fall damage is based on equipment load, but I thought my equipment load was high enough to warrant decent damage. And besides, even with low equipment load, that's still a decent fall. So I guess I did land on the ledge that makes you lower down. Okay. Cool. Thanks, Neato. Okay, Sunlight Blade. Sanctus. Okay, now we wait for Neato to get off of the wall, please. Oh my god. Okay, everything's fine. Neato, please move faster. Jesus. Order a pizza? I cannot, unfortunately. I don't have enough money for pizza. And I also had pizza like 2 days ago, so I don't think my roommates would appreciate me getting pizza for dinner again. Okay, you know, the damage isn't great, but also just Neato, so it's fine. Pardon me. Everything's fine. Oh god. You know, Sanctus, the healing we're getting isn't great. But I guess it's also partially because I'm not killing the skeleton, so I'm not getting the evil eye heal. I'm not gonna worry about him. Which is probably the incorrect decision, but... Excuse me! Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Ah! Everything's fine. Great heal. Great. Oh my god. This is scary, but it's fine. No! What? That hit me? That's so dumb. Okay, come on. Okay, everything's fine. The bonfire needs to spawn right now, though. Please. Oh, but the skeletons are dying, so that's healing me, too. Anthony! Thank you for another membership. I can't pizza. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't think Sunlight... Or I guess Sunlight Blade isn't divine. I didn't think it was. Let me catch up with chat a little bit. I am shocked that I survived that. Yeah, Butcher Knife heals less. Smoke's Hammer heals slightly more, but it's slower. So it's really not worth it. But, you know. Okay, more attunement, and then... Dexterity for damage, but Vitality for health. I think I'm gonna go Vitality a little bit for now. And then... Sif time. Pizza stream? I can't get pizza. I would get pizza if I could, but I also don't particularly want pizza right now because I had pizza a couple days ago. It would make sense that it would, but I don't know. There's a lot of things in Dark Souls that would make sense that don't happen. Yeah, Sunlight Blade is just lightning. Well, I also believe it is just lightning anyway. There we go. I don't think it's up to me anymore. Right, but it wasn't primarily up to me in the first place either. Getting me pizza. Do you even... I would not put it past you to just order pizza and have it sent to my apartment, but I don't even know if you know my address. I don't know if I've given that to you. Pardon me. I'm gonna go kill the Hydra real quick too. Yeah, I think it was 2 days ago because I had pizza for lunch yesterday, leftover pizza. I will give you my address when you are planning on visiting. Until then, however, um, I'm not going to give you my address because I don't want random pizza deliveries. A pizza gift card. um, Genocidal is so disappointing because I loved their sandwich. Their pizza was good, but their sandwiches, especially their Philly cheesesteak sandwich, it was such a it was a comfort food for me before the whole um, being complicit in genocide thing happened, and it's so disappointing because I loved their sandwiches. I would eat them so often. Oh my god. I don't even know if my grandma knows my address. Do you? I don't know if you even have the ability to contact my grandma, actually. Oh my god. Um, there we go. Thanks, Hydra. Appreciate that. Just talking about Domino's, Ben. um, same with less so with McDonald's, but their breakfast was also a comfort food for me for a little bit. Um, luckily, I never particularly loved McDonald's, but that was definitely a thing that I was disappointed about. Oh my god. The McGriddle is like so almost good. That did so much damage. And I have instability damage. Does Dark Souls 1 have player instability damage? Domino's is meta. It's pretty good. Well, was pretty good. I think at this moment, Little Caesars is my favorite pizza place. Not stagger, instability. Um, so like when an enemy is jumping concept, but isn't can be done by any damage type, but won't be increased by any ring or whatever. um, I would get local places more, but it's just like because of my circumstances, it is difficult to go to local places specifically. Um, autism definitely affects that as well because local places are a lot less consistent than chains, which is unfortunate. But autism prefers the chains as much as I definitely would prefer local businesses. Okay, instability on players as they could do. That would explain several deaths I've had in the past as well. um, I've been pretty sure that it exists, but I wasn't positive. Sprinting and jumping? I didn't know it happened when sprinting, but jumping does make sense. And like coming out of a roll before or right after your iframes end before the roll ends. Anthony, if you convince my grandma to give you my address and order me a pizza, um, I will be disappointed in my grandma. But also not surprised by the turn of events. Oh god, that was terrifying. My whole life flashed before my eyes. I know that attack specifically does an unnecessary amount of damage. Especially on the golden golems. Oh my god, we're fine. Okay, don't die to the Hydra this time, preferably. This is unfortunate. Oh my god, everything's fine. There we go. I have not put up the tapestry that you have given me, Anthony, unfortunately. I don't have the space nor ability to do so right now. Yeah. I don't usually die to the Hydra, but it's like dodging... Figuring out where to be to dodge the head the first time is always kind of a crapshoot. And on my end, it's pure skill issue, absolutely. And I should know by now, but I just don't. There we go. 5 heads. I have also not built the Legos. That one's just because of ADHD. I love that you call it a tapestry in order to avoid saying that you bought me an entire, I don't even know how you describe it, flag material poster of Gibby from iCarly. The Legos are pretty cool though. There's Breath of the Wild, right? The Koroks. I have been wanting to build that recently, but just have genuinely forgotten because ADHD. Embracing the sloth. Alright, this way. I won't forget to do this before going to the Duke's Archives, so I can actually do the DLC. Come back. Oh, I have the Rusted Iron Ring. I kind of forgot about that. I pressed the roll button! I'm sad. Oh. Oh, wait. There we go. Crickets. I forgot you said that you were going to get me crickets. Thank you for not actually getting me crickets, by the way. Lizard food. How much does Great Heal Excerpt actually heal? I know it's a lot, but I'm not sure how much a lot actually is. Also, is normal Great Heal multiple attunement slots? I don't remember. I know it's like really high faith requirement, but... oh yeah, Great Heal is from Maria, isn't it? Once after you go and kill Vincent Nico. Oh yeah, but I killed Neato, so when does Petrus kill Rhea? At what point does that happen? I don't think the Ivory Talisman is actually worth it because of my faith level. The Canvas Talisman is still probably technically better. One of the main reasons I started as Cleric was both to start with heal, even though I could have bought it from Petrus, but more importantly to start with a Canvas Talisman because it's really annoying to get normally. You'd have to buy it from patches. Which is what you have to do for the Crescent Axe. Oh, I should do a stream with the Crescent Axe. Okay, that's also going on the list. I don't even remember what all the ones were that I said. Priscilla's Dagger, Remastest, Titan Night Pebble was one of them. I'll probably... Oh my god, that was so much faster than I was expecting. I'll probably go back through the stream later and actually figure out what my list is going to be. I have to be safe without getting hit, basically, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue. After a certain amount of time passes in game? That makes sense. I'd still have to go kill Vince and Nico right now, though, which I don't feel like doing. Actually, with the slight amount of like healing that I'm getting, and that I'll be getting from hitting Sif, as bad as I am at this game, gonna get Hornet Ring for Gwyn, obviously. Oh my god. Wait. Instability damage. Don't mind if I do. Oh god. Ouchie. Okay. Dreams of a hitless run are dead. Unfortunate. I don't think the jump attack goes overhead, so it's probably actually kind of difficult to hit her with the jump attack. Come back! I've had Sif be extremely jumpy sometimes, and it's so annoying. Come back! Jesus. Case in point. Oh, I guess that's not that difficult to hit with a jumping attack. A mistake, though. We're good. Could actually do decent damage a lot. Right. Unfortunate. Okay, 4 kings. We'll avoid the temptation for now. The damage is so low, though. But I also don't want to break favor and protection, because 4 kings would be like the boss that I would use RTSR for. So I'll avoid the temptation for now. The goobering. Kind of forget that I called it that sometimes. The Crestfallen Warrior? I don't even know. And then once you ring both bells, he'll go hollow and go down to New Lando. Something like that. I guess never talking to him kind of saves him, because he never hollows. And then if you, I feel like there should be a different West line ending if you don't side with Framped, and then he like disappears, and then you talk to him after that, and then he just like sits there for the rest of the game rather than going hollow. Oh wait, no, I guess lore wise, oh my god, he doesn't go hollow because he's like giving purpose to people by his purpose is telling people that the bells need to be rung. But because both bells are rung, he doesn't really have a purpose, and that's why he hollows. It's not because of Framped. Kind of forgot about that. Alright. Let's see our damage. See if 4 kings will be awful or not. Oh god. Not the worst. Not good. I might honestly just go get RTSR if I fail this one. If I end up dying. Oh my god. We're fine. Well, good. Because I will almost definitely have to fight multiple kings. And multiple kings, especially when you can't heal, is not great. Okay, can't heal, I guess, is a bit of a misnomer, but don't have Estus, I suppose. Oh my god, 297 on an R2 is not good. I mean, it is definitely implied that Framped is part of the reason that he hollows. But because of the hollowing being based on not having a purpose, it's definitely because the bells have been rung. This is really annoying. Can you not do explosions anymore, please? I love fighting 4 kings at once. I've had that happen in several playthroughs, and it's not great. Oh my god. Okay. RTSR. Hey, Blade. I will avoid equipping RTSR for now. Just because I don't want to go out of my way to grab it. Even though it's right there. Genuinely just forgot I had Sunlight Blade. See you later, Deuterium. Thank you for joining the stream while you could. Hope you enjoyed your time. Have a good night. Or day. I don't know what time it is for you. You have not missed the Pasakas yet, no. Doing 4 Kings, and then I'll do Druid's Archives, and then I'll do Bed of Chaos, then we'll do DLC. I mean, it's not that the 4 Kings is necessarily... I wouldn't call 4 Kings a DPS check. It's just that they're vastly harder if you don't have a good DPS than any other boss would be. You know what I mean? So... I actually aggroed Crestfallen in my very first attempt at playing Dark Souls 1, as soon as I got to Firelink. And it was annoying, but I did actually kill him. Ruining a save file is definitely hyperbolic, I think. Everything's fine. Oh, that's... Dang it. I'm just gonna use Great Heal now. That was unfortunate. Yeah, I mean... Voice tanking 4 Kings is an entirely valid strategy. I did that in my first several playthroughs of this game. It wasn't for a long time. Actually, I think it wasn't until my Soul Level 1 playthrough that I didn't just DPS. I mean, I didn't poise tank them, because you can't really do that at Soul Level 1. Please don't magic. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, there we go. That's damage. That's much better damage. Usable damage, in fact. I guess it helps that they're weak to lightning, but... we're fine. Oh, I didn't think that would... That's fine. Okay. See, this is fine. As much as I would still like to have RTSR. Don't magic, please. Okay, well, I mean, that is magic, but that's not the magic I was referring to, so... Oh, okay, well, this is arguably worse. Okay. Oh, dang it. Sunlight Blade is gone. Individual 4 Kings are really easy to dodge, in my opinion, especially after having fought them so many times. But once you get multiple, it's hard to focus on all of them at once, so... I don't know. Individually, personally, I think they're pretty easy, just from experience, but... Ooh, ouchie. Just gotta be, like, kind of aggressive, or at least get lucky enough to be able to be kind of aggressive. This isn't that bad, even with the low damage. Oh my god. Oh, I thought the next one had already spawned. Really? I'm surprised, actually, that this one didn't spawn until now. I think the 4 Kings is more fun without poise tanking, just from, like, preference. But poise tanking them is still very fun. I mean, doing non-Pyromancer SL1 isn't SL1, but, I mean, no one's gonna stop you. Like, the Pyromancer class is the only one that actually starts at level 1. Like, even the Priap starts at level 6, which is actually the highest of any of the starting classes. But, I mean, you know, you can do your challenge runs however you want. I don't think that Soul Level 1, quote-unquote, with the Deprived is necessarily easier or harder than Soul Level 1 with the Pyromancer. health. Yeah, at this point, DPS isn't important anymore. Seath time. Fast roll with Wolf Ring is pretty great. Oh, I forgot I killed Gwyn, right? What? Why? It wasn't attacking because the text. That's so mean. Stop it. Rude. I guess I can look this up. Not really any reason to, but I have it now. Wolfring with... Let me think. Probably like... What's the lightest piece of poise granting equipment, actually? I want to say it's like one of the pieces of Baldur armor? Anyway, Wolfring with like the Baldur gauntlets or whatever is pretty great. Because that prevents you from getting staggered by the dogs in 2 hits. So it takes a 3rd hit from dogs to stagger you, and it makes Capra ridiculously easy. It's really funny. Yeah, cleric. I mean, the mace is honestly a pretty good weapon. Like, as much as it relies on strength scaling a lot of the time, like, the mace is still a good weapon. It has really good stagger potential, even at low levels, because you can two-hand it and get pretty decent strength scaling, even at base cleric level. Should I kill the boar or let Hubris take over? I'm gonna let Hubris take over. Oh my god. Jesus. So aggressive. Pardon me. Thank you. Wait, really? That wasn't a one-shot? That's unfortunate. Oh my god. Ow. Wow. The server is, I mean, I guess it is slash damage, and these guys are resistant to slash damage, but this is still extremely unfortunate damage. Okay, at least it one-shots the archer. Better than nothing. Nope! Oh my god. Go away. I was fully expecting to be able to backstab there, and I didn't, and that was terrifying. But it's fine. Everything's okay. I have... Okay, so my most recent Dark Souls 3 video has what I would argue is one of the worst jokes I've ever made in one of my videos. Oh, I should put Evil Eye back on. However, on the opposite end of things, I do have a video for this game planned that has one of the best jokes I think I'll ever make. And it has to do with the boars, and that I hesitate to say joke reminded me of that. And you have gotten me significantly more excited to work on that video specifically. Alright, my hubris has fortunately paid off so far. And then I think I have... Yeah. Raring a sacrifice, so... Luckily, I don't have to worry about being cursed. Very difficult NPC fight. Honestly, I don't even remember fighting that guy in my first playthrough. I feel like that would be one thing that I would get stuck, that I would have gotten stuck on in my first playthrough because I didn't parry at all. But I also probably just R2'd with the Claymore a couple times. Or Black Knight Sword, I don't remember what I was using at this point. All right, time for the Pasagas. Hope everyone's ready and excited. Okay. God, that is such a low damage. I really need to level up my dexterity. Will this even one shot? Not even close. Oh my god. Damage. More like... No. Probably won't even one shot the Pasakas with a running attack. That's unfortunate. I don't know. They might be weak to slash. I doubt it. The Snake Men might be resistant to slash? Wouldn't surprise me. Oh, it is a one shot. That's so good. Makes this so much easier. Oh, pardon me. Maybe don't run into walls while looking down at chat. I want to backstab one of these. Just for potential jokes. Something, something. I wish. Almost missed up. I'm glad you could witness them, Ben. Of course, got to take out these two for the miracles that I won't use. There we go. Of course, right. The important priorities to have seen the Pasakas in the stream. Jesus Christ, that's such a high requirement. 48. Soothing Sunlight is 100% better, but 48 is so high. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that you can backstab them. It's not incredibly useful because they only appear here and in groups. So like, you know, backstabbing isn't the most useful thing, but it's fun to do because almost every time I do it during a stream, somebody will mention that they didn't know it was possible. I mean, I've gotten burnt out on video games before. One of the most recent examples was Sonic Frontiers. I was writing a video about it in the vein of my other Sonic videos, which I haven't... I'll talk about them in a moment. But I ended up... Oops, why did I pull that again? Hello? Anyway, I was working on a video for Sonic Frontiers, and I was playing through the Update 3 content, and ended up losing my save file, like right at the very end. I had 100% of the game, gotten every single of the little collectibles and everything. And then I just got so burnt out on it that I just did not want to play it again to play back up to that spot. But like, I don't know, I've gotten burnt out of other games like Warframe. I'm not super burnt out on it, but it's not a game that I want to play right now. I get burnt out on Minecraft every time I play it for like a week. But like with Dark Souls, it really doesn't feel like I'm ever going to get burnt out on it. Because, I mean, partially autism. But also just the fact that I can do this for a living, you know what I mean? Anyway, what I was going to talk about, the Sonic videos. I'm thinking of redoing the Sonic Adventure 2 video and then uploading those to a second channel that I'm using, or that I'm planning on using primarily for like, not necessarily retro game content, but retro games and retro style games. And the reason I make that distinction is because like I would do games like Mario 64, but I would also do like Sonic Frontiers, right? Which is not a retro game at all, but it comes from loving Sonic Frontiers is partially because I like retro games. But I don't know. I don't want to feel obligated to upload on that channel is a thing. I want it to just be a side thing I do for fun. because at this point, playing games without recording or writing anything about them just feels weird. um, and I do want to make that channel regardless, but I am definitely curious if anyone would be interested in even watching that. Any of my my viewer base. Oh my god, what the? Why did that do 3 hits? I've never seen that before. I mean, regardless of like having experienced everything or not, like I feel like there's enough that even in doing doing stuff you've already done in the game is gonna feel fresh eventually, right? Trident spins? I had no idea. That's completely new information to me. But yeah, I would put my Sonic videos on there and hopefully finish that. I still plan on doing the Tetris videos on this channel for whatever reason. I don't know. I feel like it'd make more sense to put it on a second channel, but that is something that I just like want to be part of this channel. I don't know. But yeah, like Ocarina of Time, or rather Zelda game randomizers would be fun to do, stuff like that. You can use the same attack. I've never used that trident. That is definitely on my list of things to stream. Perish, like I said earlier, but the drop chance is so low. I'd probably just end up hacking it in though. Like killing the guy in the parish, and then if I don't get the drop, because it's 1 in 100, yeah. I've gotten that drop twice ever. I think I got it on a stream one time. I don't remember. The crystals like snap in half. I don't know. I see what you mean, and I see where you're coming from. But they're also like mostly flesh, right? So unfortunately, I feel like it makes sense that they don't go hollow farming for the trident. I haven't done Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask specifically. I have done Ocarina of Time, Minecraft, and Super Mario 64 all together though, with Archipelago. That was a really fun thing to do. I was playing them all by myself, so I would like play some, and that would get me, you know, enough stars in Mario 64 to go play another level. That was a very fun thing to do by myself. But a friend and I have tried to do a Ocarina of Time multi-world with Archipelago. I don't remember why, but we couldn't get it to work. Probably something with BizHawk being stupid. BizHawk is so unnecessarily convoluted. But yeah, that's definitely something I am wanting to do, doing randomizers and stuff. I've been wanting to do a Majora's Mask randomizer specifically for a long time, but I haven't because I'm waiting for it to come out on Ship of Arcanian 2, just because it's so easy to have the tracker and the game itself in one place. And doing a randomizer without that just feels so clunky now. But you know. The main reason that I don't want to do videos like that on this channel is because the video I did on like Majora's Mask got less than 1,000 views. I think it's still sitting at less than 1,000 views, despite being a challenge run. So I figure most of the people who watch this channel aren't super interested in like retro content or maybe even Zelda in particular or whatever. But also I feel like uploading the Sonic videos to a new channel will give them like a new chance to, you know, get views. Because right now they're all at like maybe a couple hundred, if that, which is unfortunate because I really like those videos. Not the Sonic Adventure 2 one. The Sonic Adventure 2 one kind of sucks, which is why I want to redo it. But the other videos I thought were pretty good and were really fun to make. Okay, I'm gonna let Seath take care of this guy. Seath, please. I do still want to do a Wind Waker swordless video. Oh my god, my controller disconnected. Okay, we're fine. That was terrifying. I do want to do a Wind Waker swordless video on this channel, just because I feel like it fits, regardless of how few views it might get. Because like views are nice. Anyway. I did really enjoy doing that Majora's Mask video. That was fun. Oh my god, Anthony, we were talking about doing something together. We should definitely, like, stream a Wind Waker randomizer or something together. That would be really fun. As much as you know Wind Waker so much more than I do. Um, I mean, it doesn't even have to be, like, a race or whatever like we used to do. We could just do, like, a multi-world even. That would be fun. We'll get up to Archipelago if that's a thing. Yeah, Wind Waker Swordless, I am planning on doing that eventually. I just don't know Wind Waker very well. Not nearly as well as I do with Majora's Mask and Ocarina. And I feel like early on it would work really well because you have all the weapons and stuff that enemies drop. But I feel like I would also end up having to use a lot of glitches to be able to do anything. So, I don't know. I am definitely planning on doing that eventually. I think that'll be a very fun challenge run to do. Dexterity. I need dexterity. I need damage, unfortunately. I don't know. I do make content for fun, but obviously when I make content and it doesn't get engagement, it kind of removes the fun of making content in the first place, you know? So I prefer making stuff that will get engagement, but I also just want to, like, share my thoughts on a lot of things, like with the Sonic games, right? So I don't know. That is, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of curious. I've always wanted to start a new channel. Not always, but after getting somewhat successful on this channel, um, I've been wanting to start a new channel for a long time because this channel took forever to get even, you know, one video above 10,000 views, which was the orange juice video. And that was like pure luck because a bunch of people happened to see my comment on the skit video, right? And then the Dark Souls video, the nothing, the ellipses nothing question mark run, got a bunch of views, and I'm curious how much of that was luck. Because again, I've been doing this whole YouTube thing for years at this point, making tons of random video essays and stuff. Or how much of that was like subject matter, how much of that was like making a good thumbnail, because that was my first thumbnail that I thought was like genuinely really good. There was a while where I was like messing with thumbnails to like try and get something to do decently. Like in my What Makes a Game Special essay, right? Dark Souls is in the thumbnail of that video, and I wanted to specifically put Dark Souls in that thumbnail so that people who like Dark Souls might see it and like click on it, and that would get it more views. It didn't really end up working. The video did decently. It did pretty well for the time that I released it. A few hundred views, but I don't know. It didn't get the kind of views that the Nothing run did, which I mean is fine. Again, I'm not really doing this specifically for views, but getting engagement on stuff that I find interesting, especially essays like that, is really nice. And I think the novel nostalgia, What Makes a Game Special, and then the Gwendolyn essay, that little trilogy of videos, all connected to each other, talking about art, is like some of the best. I don't know. It's one of my favorite things I've ever done. Very, very fun to make and of engagement, which is like fine. But I really wish it did so I could keep doing stuff like that. And it's not that I can't do stuff like that anymore, obviously, but I don't know. Again, I want to do stuff that people want to engage with. I want to do stuff that people want to see. Because that's just part of what I think is fun about making content, personally. So, you know, kind of comes down to that. And then, again, like, making money off of this kind of makes it difficult to do things exclusively for fun, which is why I want to make a second channel in the first place. So. Alright, Engie, you can hurry up, please. Please. Please, thank you. Oh my god, it's 5:40. I mean, I guess it did take me a while to get into Sin Fortress. This is probably going to end up being a little bit longer of a stream than normal. I do still want to go down to Manus, though, at least. I could skip Centipede, but I don't know. Wouldn't be much faster anyway. Anyway, my anecdotes about making content for YouTube aside. Dark Souls, am I right? um, it's nice that the Dark Souls videos are the ones that took off because it's like, you know, my favorite game ever, full stop. And one of my favorite things generally as well, outside of gaming even. Like Dark Souls is just one of my favorite things, and it's nice to be able to share it with people, and make a little bit of money on the side to support myself. And I mean, you know, having a partner who's willing to support me financially so I'm able to pursue this is very, very fortunate. And I could not be happier with the people I have found in my life over time. I consider myself extremely lucky in a lot of ways, so. Oh, that didn't kill. That's unfortunate. Come on. How much damage am I even doing? Not much, jeez. What an incredible weapon. I think it is B scaling in dexterity, which, I mean, that's not bad, but having such a low dexterity because I wanted the faith to do the healing. I don't know. I feel like there's not much that you can do with this weapon to synergize it with other builds. Because, like, its thing is the HP, right? So you'd want to have health for a build that you're doing with this weapon. I mean, despite how low the healing is. I don't know. I guess that makes health less important so that you can put more into damage. I don't know. I don't know. My first thought was, oh, haha, faith for healing miracles and no Estus. That will be interesting. And I do think this is a fun build, but also doing so little base damage is unfortunate. But whatever. It's good enough to beat the game. In my hands, at least. Having a lot of time in this game definitely helped with that. I wonder, like, of all the weapons I've used, right? A lot of them are just not good. But I wonder how a casual player who's like first playthrough using some of these weapons would be. Like a casual player using the whip, right? First of all, what would lead to a casual player using the whip? But more importantly, like, would anyone even get the whip and stick with it for the whole game? Because it doesn't become good until you get a lot of dexterity, because it has really, really good scaling, right? But awful base damage. But more importantly, like less so the people who choose to stick with it, but more so like how the playthrough ends up going and how well they end up using the weapon and its strengths. And like that goes for most of the weapons that I've used that aren't particularly good. The Astora Straight Sword, I know a lot of people really like the Astora Straight Sword in this game, despite it being one of the worst weapons. And that's not even like, oh, I don't like the weapon's moveset or whatever. Like, damage-wise, DPS-wise, it is one of the worst weapons in the game. Like, only use that weapon, or that's one of their favorite weapons or whatever. Like, I just wonder what it's like from that perspective. The whip never gets good in Elden Ring. I do remember trying to do a whip playthrough in Elden Ring. I got the, like, sword whip thing. And, yeah, the damage isn't great. So I can't believe I got hit by that. I suck at this game. There we go. Come back, please. What the? You know... Hey, come on. Hey, cut off in one hit. That's good. If nothing else. I was fully expecting to get grabbed there, to be honest. Oh, the stompies. The painful stompies. Not second phase yet. That's kind of surprising. And good, also. Easy. Oh, I didn't even have Evil Eye equipped. I kind of forgot. Guardian Tail? I have not. The only whip I've used in this game was the base whip. Haven't even used the notched whip. I don't know. Like I said, I have said in the past rather. Eventually, I want to do a playthrough with every single weapon in this game, from start to finish. And I know that's going to take a very, very long time, but you know, more things to stream, I suppose. I can't imagine the people who enjoy being here will complain too much about that. But yeah, Guardian Tail specifically, I have not done. Primarily because I didn't want to use it in my whip playthrough. Like, I know it's worse damage-wise than the whip, and the only boon that it has is the poison, and the poison isn't good especially for DLC, which is where you get it. And by the time I had gotten there, like, I didn't want to go out of my way for it because the lower base damage, but also in the DLC specifically, like, oh my god, stop! What the hell is that hitbox? Jesus. Anyway, I didn't want to go out of my way for it is the point, which is why I haven't used it. Yeah, I've watched Yasmania quite a bit. I really like Yasmania's videos. I think I've talked about him in a few streams too. He's the reason I did the Blacksmith Hammer and Craftsman's Hammer power stance playthrough. That was really fun. Because he had it in a poll. I don't think he's done that playthrough yet, but he's going to soon. Yeah. Good videos. Highly recommend Yasmania, especially if you just like people, or like watching people play through Dark Souls games or whatever, with random, unique builds like I do. But he does almost exclusively Dark Souls 2, if not exclusively Dark Souls 2. Yeah, good sense of humor. He's really funny. Likes getting kissed on the mouth by Mytha and the Pyromancers, which, like, who wouldn't, right? Alright. Hopefully I don't end up dying to Bed of Chaos. I trust myself to not, but very, very good chance I get unlucky. I usually play Elden Ring offline, or if not offline, you know. I don't usually play offline because I like seeing messages, but I don't do anything that would allow me to be invaded in Elden Ring, so unfortunately, don't get to experience that side of the whips. Though I guess I do play Seamless Co-op every so often. I probably played more Seamless Co-op than vanilla at this point. I don't know if that's true. I have all of the achievements in Elden Ring on my second Steam file, or my second Steam account, because, you know, not using mods in Dark Souls, so I don't get banned. I have all the achievements on it, and I have like 30 hours of playtime in the game. Be like 30 to 50 hours or whatever. And then most people end up spending significantly more time than that. But if you do like actually play through the game and know what you're doing, it's very easy to get all the achievements within 30 hours. I wasn't even trying to go fast is a thing too. I'm sure people who know what they're doing and are trying to go fast can go significantly faster. There we go. You don't own Dark Souls 2 anymore? Or do you mean you're banned on your main Dark Souls 2 account? Or your main Steam account? Or wanting to watch Miss Yasmania? I guess there are several things you could be referring to. I love that there's no sliding sound. Oh, there is a sliding sound. It's just very quiet. Actually, that might be the fire from the Bed of Chaos. There might just not be a sliding sound. Yeah, being summoned to help fight bosses is really fun. That's probably the only, like, multiplayer I choose to engage with in the Souls games. It's fun. There we go. basically inaudible. Oh, there is a sliding sound. Oh, never mind. It's gone. Why is there no fire? Oh, there it is. Right, okay. I forgot it doesn't show up till halfway down. Alright. Here's arguably the hardest part. I don't know. I think the second node is the hardest part. First node is incredibly easy. What is happening? Oh my god! The meteor attack! Holy... Oh my god! The rarest attack in the game! That's crazy! It's been so long since I've seen that. I kind of forgot it existed. Wow. That's awesome. So for those of you who don't know, that attack is, like, excessively rare. Significantly more rare even than the Fire Tempest or Firestorm or whatever it normally does. I've only seen that attack like 2 or 3 times ever. Oh good, speaking of Firestorm. We're fine. Oh, Xbox 360 Dark Souls 2. Was Scholar ever released on? But, I don't know, I feel like I've voiced that quite a bit. Dexterity. Physical damage is going to be significantly more important in the DLC, obviously, but I'll get a little extra damage from Sunlight Blade. Anyway, really cool to see such a rare attack. Should actually probably equip the ring that I've been planning on using for this run this whole time. And I've barely used, because it's mostly useless. Actually, rusted iron ring until I get there. One thing... So, Sanctuary Guardian is my favorite fight in any game ever. But honestly, this is probably contentious, but I think it would be better if the water in the arena slowed you down. Like if it was like the shallow water in the basin. Just because I feel like that would add an extra layer to the fight, because it's already so easy, right? And I feel like that would justify the low health that it has. Because like it already does the lightning spread attack, right? Which is the point of the water in the first place. But the water being hard to walk through, I think would add a lot to the boss. On top of being able to negate it with the rusted iron ring. What about Artorias? Oh, favorite boss, right? Artorias is just really, I don't know. Artorias is fun, but he's very rote. It's like back and forth, but that's it. Like he attacks, you roll, then you attack, and then he attacks, and you roll, and then you attack. Which is kind of what the series turned into with like Dark Souls 3, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. A few of the bosses like nail that rhythm, and it feels so good. The Twin Princess come to mind, but with the Sanctuary Guardian, like the lightning and the jumping away and diving, and especially like the tailspin attacks and stuff, it feels so much more dynamic and yeah, true. I don't know. Artorias is good, but he's not particularly good in my opinion. I agree. I don't know. But people have fun with them, you know. I don't think I really have any ring that would be useful over the evil eye ring. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Let's see how much damage we do to this Sanctuary Guardian. Wow, that is honestly way more than I was expecting. We're fine. Ooh, instability damage. Yeah, actually so much more damage than I was expecting. Alright. Unfortunate that such a good boss is over so quickly every time. Slash damage? It might actually be weak to slash damage. That might be where all that damage is coming from. Unique... Oh, puzzle bosses? Yeah. I agree. I'm trying to think. Sorry. No, I'm saying a lot. Uh, I don't know. I don't know if it's exclusively older Zelda games. Like, pre Breath of the Wild is all puzzle bosses, right? Um, Twilight Princess really comes to mind with a lot of its bosses. Goma is really good as like a puzzle boss, I think. As much as the spider terrifies me and I hate it. um, but even like, I don't know, Ocarina of Time also has that with Morpha comes to mind as well. Arguably even Goma, just because of the so many ways that you can tackle that fight. Um, that you can knock her down while she's laying the eggs. That's one of my favorite things about that fight. I love Ocarina of Time so much. um, I don't know. Majora's Mask, all the bosses are kind of like that, but there's also only 4 bosses. Like, there are just so many ways to tackle all the bosses, and then 3D removed that entirely. Majora's Mask 3D is so disappointing. Ugh. Ocarina of Time 3D is such a good remake, and then Majora's Mask 3D is just so terrible, and it makes me so sad every time. But at least we have Ship of Arcanian, so it's okay. Or Ship of Arcanian 2, at least. I don't know why I do that. I kill that crystal lizard a lot, and I never need to. I guess it's just out of instinct at this point. I don't think I've ever actually used the Titanite from that specific crystal lizard, because it's just twinkling, which you can get plenty of early on. I don't know. I guess in the run where I use the tracers, that will be somewhat useful. Are they both twinkling? Are the tracers both twinkling Titanite? I can think of for that. And even then, like, can just kill some clams. Or buy it from the giant blacksmith. That's actually probably what I'll end up doing. Or duping. I don't know. Right, hopefully I don't end up dying to Artorias, but I'm also bad at the video game sometimes, so we'll see. Wow, shockingly good damage once again. Oh my god, the dexterity scaling is really pulling its weight. I looked away from the screen and I wasn't expecting that third attack. This always happens with Artorias. Okay, well, the range isn't anything to write home about, but... Hello? Do things, please. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough stamina. If it's only 2. Okay, good. I should definitely heal, which him buffing would be a great time to heal, actually, next time. I don't know if it's worth healing, though. Oh my god! Okay, never mind. Definitely gonna heal next opportunity. I don't know, but if he's buffed anyway, I'm just gonna have to not get hit because of the increased damage. Okay, so full transparency. My phone was about to... The screen was about to turn off. So I moved my hand away from the controller because he almost never does a third flip. He didn't do anything unexpected. I just don't remember every single combo. It's also because I looked away from the screen. I don't think the boss is to blame for me getting it there. Totally my fault. Something, something. He, him, lesbian, Artorias. I don't know. I'm not the one. Actually? Oh my god. What a jerk. I said I didn't expect a third hit, but it was only because I was looking away, because I didn't remember that that specific combo had a third hit. Again, it's just because I looked away. Alright, good thing I got the shortcut. Hubris will not be the death of me this day. Maybe tomorrow, though. Probably tomorrow. Alright. I have a run I need to record for my video on this week, but hopefully I'll actually be able to get that videos right now, honestly. I should be having a video uploaded, like, a few days before it goes out, but I've been uploading on Saturday. And the thing is, I have runs that I want to do, and I have video ideas, but they just take so long, and they're either, like, difficult or take a long time, so I'm just not able to get them done quick enough. Oh my god. Everything's fine. Let me pay attention to the boss this time, instead of trying to look at chat constantly. As much as I enjoy engaging with chat, which is the entire reason I stream, sometimes can't do that at all times, unfortunately. Okay. Can you do something I can actually punish, please? Thank you. Okay, the lightning really does not have that much extra damage, huh? Yeah, the stream does that sometimes, most of the time, and I'm really not sure why. I've tried to fix it several times. Generally, I've been told it's watchable, so I'm not too super concerned about it, as much as I would rather have it fixed than not. But I just genuinely don't know what to do to fix it, because I really don't think it's a thing on my internet, because that doesn't happen with, like, you know, Discord streams or whatever. It's literally just YouTube and OBS, so I think it's an OBS thing, but I don't know what setting would cause that. Okay. Couple more. Thinking about how few times I've actually staggered Artorias. I mean, outside of the buff. I think I've only done that like twice ever, and I don't even remember which weapons I staggered with. Because of his stupid fast poise recovery time. There we go. I mean, that's kind of what makes Artorias boring to me. Like, yeah, he's very similar to the player. And I see why that could be more engaging and fun than something that's like vastly stronger than the player or vastly different from the player. And it definitely does have its merit, and I agree. However, it also does make it kind of boring sometimes, in my opinion. So, not like boring, but I don't know. It doesn't have the same kind of intrigue that the Guardian has, or even Manus, who is just so vastly different from the player that you can't really predict what he's about to do. I guess that applies more to the Sanctuary Guardian than Manus, but you know, you get where I'm coming from, I assume. Oh my god. Backshots. I'm not supposed to get backshots yet. That's for when I'm running down to Manus. Player if he had 99 and everything. I mean... Oh, pardon me. Backshots for the drunk stream. Right. I'll have to let my partners know. Jesus. Oh my god. Okay, well. That's rude. Poisoning me after I die. Yeah, the Sanctuary Guardian having... I think one of my favorite things about the Sanctuary Guardian is the 2-hit, 4-hit combo. So, like, it's either claw swipe, or claw swipe, horn swipe, claw swipe. Or, you know, vice versa with the horn swipes and claw swipes. I think that's genuinely one of my favorite things about the Sanctuary Guardian, because it's a variable and adds, like, you know, unpredictability to the fight, but not in the way that something like I don't know, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Something like Margit does, right? Because Margit has combos that he can stop and continue at his whim. But they're also like your response to them is going to be different dependent on how much of the combo he actually goes through with, as opposed to the Sanctuary Guardian where your response is exactly the same. It's just when you respawn, that's different, and it's very clearly telegraphed. So yeah, I really like the Sanctuary Guardian, if that's not obvious. Shots too, yeah, unfortunately. In this context, that's unfortunate at least. Here we go. Oh my god, I forgot about that one. I forgot I didn't kill that one first. Owie, that hurt. Stop it. Not really any reason to kill the mimic, huh? Oh well. There we go. The archaeology of Ulusil is like similar to early human architecture, you mean? Like, I mean, I guess that makes sense lore-wise, right? But like, in what sense? In terms of like time period, would that be like early, or like, because it does also have like the whole religious iconography thing going on with the statues and everything. So like, when you say early architecture, like to what degree is that? Oh my god, as someone who knows nothing about architecture. You know, I don't like having this low health while going past the prisoner, so I'm just gonna use a Firekeeper Soul. There we go. It's not Estus. That's all I promised. Um, I feel like it makes sense to make Firekeeper Souls an exception. I don't think I've used a Firekeeper Soul, like, to not upgrade the Estus in years. Roman times and before. Yeah, that makes sense too with the kind of reverential iconography. All right. I hope I can first try Manus. It's just Manus. I should be good at Manus by now, right? After all this time. After all the times that I fought Manus in so many different ways. It's just Manus. Okay. Those are for other people to do, not you. Alrighty. Yeah, luckily, you don't have to go all the way around to kill that guy. You can just walk up to the cliff and he'll drop down and attack you. Makes it significantly easier to get through there without getting hit. I don't know. Sunlight Blade isn't really worth it. That's fine. Hey, Manus. How's it going? That is not bad damage at all. I've done it with vastly less. Brazil. I don't know. It's I was gonna say this isn't that bad, but I feel like that joke would work better with like an Ohio joke or something. This isn't nearly as bad as Ohio. Love the Manus combo. I love that it's unsafe to punish it too, because you can immediately go into the jump attack that you can't dodge if you attack out of the combo. excuse me. I think this is gonna be... Okay, it wasn't, but that's fine. Rather play it safe. That's the combo. Okay, I think I see the difference in the tell there. Okay, so far so good. Oh my god, we're fine. The one attack Manus has that I cannot consistently dodge yet. Even after all this time. Oh, okay, that's unfortunate. I think it would be very funny to know him. So I'm definitely gonna try. I'm glad you enjoyed your time here, Frankie. Thank you for joining while you could. Hope you have a good night. I could have definitely punished that, but that's fine. My hair is getting in my nose. Itchy. This is unfortunate. It's fine. Okay, right. I definitely have an idea of what the difference between that and the combo tell are. So, this hand slam, staff slam combo, not this combo. Oh, good. Yes. Damage opportunity. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, saw that wrong. That was scary. All right. Hitless Manus in the regen build. Perfect. Entertaining fight. Yeah, I like fighting Manus just because it feels good to be able to no-hit him now, especially after struggling on him so much for so long. But yeah, easy. Learning Manus is so awful. Manus is the worst boss to learn in the series, in my opinion. Yeah, hair is, as much as I love it for how it makes me look and how it makes me feel, it is very annoying sometimes. Alright, Gwyn time. Which, gonna not use the Ring of the Evil Eye for the Gwyn fight. For what I hope are obvious reasons. Pardon me. Damage. I assume Gwyn is resistant to lightning, right? I know he's weak to fire, but I assume he's resistant to lightning. Yeah, I play Manus very, very passively. I know a lot of people play him aggressively, but I can't do that just because or at least I don't do that because the combo, like the long one, can hit you from neutral. So if you're attacking from neutral, you cannot, or well, you might be able to, but I haven't been able to personally. Alright, maybe I can actually parry this one so I can see the riposte damage. Maybe I should do a two-handed riposte. Does two-handed riposting work with, like, Pigpa? I'm not actually sure. I assume it does, right? Oh, but no, you need to un-two-hand to actually parry the next one, so I guess not. Oh well. I don't think I need that little bit of extra damage on Gwyn anyway. Considering Gwyn. I think I am going to go ahead and use Sunlight Blade as I enter the fight, though, regardless. Not that I need it, but I think it'll be funny to do that extra damage. Pardon me. Oh, right, I can't use Estus. I can't Pigpa. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, so... I could do the thing like I did in the literally nothing run. Or the nothing run, rather, where I don't use the Estus to heal, but I still use the Estus to do Pigpa. go ahead and use Sunlight Blade. That sure is damage. I don't know, this is fine. As long as he doesn't use two. Yeah. Not the best Gwyn damage I've ever seen, but certainly not the worst. Nothing like using nothing but a reinforced club at soul level 1. Oh my god. No, please. This is unfortunate. No! That's so messed up. Gotta run all the way back. Okay. Of course, he used, was that 4 fast slashes in a row. Extremely unfortunate. I don't know. I guess it wouldn't have been that bad if I hadn't failed to parry the second one. But it's fine. It's just Gwyn. Yeah, he does do quite a bit of damage, unfortunately. Which makes doing him parryless unnecessarily difficult. Oh my god, we're fine. I was really worried I wouldn't actually be able to roll because of the jump thing, but it's fine. Pardon me? You know, I'm honestly kind of shocked that I haven't died in this run because I had the talisman equipped and tried to parry. Because I I mean, most of the Black Knights aren't bothering me, so no reason to be rude to them. Except for the halberd one. The halberd one's a jerk. No. Oh my god. Okay, slow swing, please. Yeah, that's good. Fine. Everything's good. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Just, don't use a fast slash, eh? I said don't do that? Oh my god. I parried fully expecting a fast slash, and I got duped. It's fine. It's just Gwyn. I can't believe I died to Gwyn twice. This is so unfortunate. And it's just because I can't use Estes. It's just Gwyn. Gwyn's not hard. Also, fun fact. I have no idea why. But if you quit out at any point in the kiln at all, it doesn't even have to be near the end. The Halberd Black Knight just won't be there. It just doesn't spawn if you quit out for whatever reason. So, you know, if it's one of your first playthroughs and you're struggling on Gwyn or whatever, that should help at least a little bit. Assuming you don't back up your save in front of the fog wall. Oh my god. Alright, this is the one. I can taste it. It's just Gwyn. I'll beat him no problem. Honestly, if my heal was faster, I probably would have been able to win that time. I just don't have the ability to heal at all. And doing Gwyn hitless without Pigpa is frustrating. Oh wait, never mind. I guess you do have to quit out closer than I thought. But I don't think the Axe Black Knight died. That was... I should have waited for a moment, but... Oh, hi. Oh my god. Okay. Just gonna go ahead and get rid of this guy real quick. There we go. Alright, this time I'm gonna beat Gwyn without dying, preferably. Oh my god. I can't believe I just messed up that parry. The caffeine is wearing off. It's fine. Everything's fine. See, here we go. Slightly less damage, but... Are you okay? Come back. Okay, just, need to be better this time. See, now we're gaming. If I had Sunlight Blade, that would have killed him. There we go. It's just Gwyn. So to answer the question in the thumbnail, no. But if I had actually, weapon would have been significantly better. Otherwise, I don't know. It's fine. Don't do this build like this. Just level up dexterity. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I love you all. I guess I should get the ending first. I don't know. I would say I don't know how to end this, but I guess that counts as an ending.